Oh, this music came on just nicely. So, hi everybody, this is CVGS. I'm the captain here, and welcome to our discussion stream. And we have our very special guest right now, OuterOrange. Say hi.
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 Hi everybody.
Hello, hello. Would you like to give yourself a brief introduction before, for those that are unfamiliar with you?
Yes, I'm OuterOrange. I do a lot of Cardfight Vanguard content. I mainly focus on deck profiles and kind of talking about things that are going on, and I also try to be competitive, but I also try to enjoy the community's presence, and I also try to keep things casual as well, and I stream on Twitch as well, and I do lots of remote fights on there. You guys can check me out there.
Yes, absolutely. So we have all of her details in the description box below, so you can find her YouTube channel, her Twitter, her Twitch, and other socials as well. So do be sure to follow all that. So, yep, everybody is saying hi to you. Hi, Orange.
Yay! Hey, hi.
Yes, look, you are bang on time as well, right? So we only have Orange here for about an hour. So if you guys have any questions they want to ask her, do get those questions in as much as you can. Also, because after like 9:30 our time here, she probably will have to go off from there. So yeah, if you have any questions, do be sure to let her know. So, but yeah, basically we wanted to have her on because OuterOrange was one of the people that has caught my attention. As of late, and the one thing that really caught me about attention was just how positive she is, especially for somebody that took part in competitive as well. Because unlike most people these days right now, especially with everything that's happening right now, competitive has never been much of a positive experience. Not to as far of an extent that I've seen from the recent BSF Online. And I actually wanted to have OuterOrange here just to kind of share her experience with BSF with you guys, and just to showcase just how great Vanguard is right now. Like when people say that Vanguard is the best game out right now for card games, it's hard for me to disagree these days. So yeah. No, I was just gonna ask you. So just pose the first question. How was the BSF for you over the week?
It was absolutely amazing. I personally had a very positive experience. BCF has 3 different formats that you can enter, which is Premium, V-Premium, and Overdress, and I did enter all 3 of them because I wanted to experience the tournament aspect again, and I went in and I had a lot of fun. I know some people are a little scared of remote fights and stuff, but I really recommend it if you really just want to enjoy a really good time, and the community came together so well. Just as the Cap just explained, there's kind of a whole Vanguard is the best card game ever. You really don't feel that moment as well as you do during Spring Fest. It was just crazy how much everybody was just going on, and everyone's card games, and people were rooting for the top 8s, and just being able to just communicate with people all around the world, being able to see everybody is just absolutely amazing. I personally that was probably my favorite part, was just being able to talk to people from Europe and Australia, parts of America, Asia locations, being able to talk to WCC people. I was able to talk to Derek and Noman, and just being able to interact with all these people that I didn't know I could ever even reach out to was just extremely enjoyable. It made me love the game even more. I thought I fell in love with the game, but I feel I keep falling even harder for the game. So it's been just a really enjoyable experience.
Yeah, and especially just you describing the thing. One thing to note, you may not hear it, Orange, but there's a piano theme playing right now, and just you gushing about it is completely fitting. It's perfect timing, just the piano scene, just for somebody to gush about how the online scene is also. Yeah, but yes, this is exactly what I mean by a very positive experience, because it's so nice to hear somebody just gush about Vanguard, especially in the online competitive scene as well, because it is it is a very very fun place, and while intimidating as it be, because you know it's a competitive game still, but there's a lot of people out there that's like-minded, like each and every one of us. We all love the game. We all came together and were able to participate in this tournament together because, you know, it's very easy to access. And as long as we have the tools that we have, which after a year of a pandemic we managed to have all those, you know, and just the end result of there is just it just warms my heart to just see all that happening. So yeah. Yeah, so Luke actually asks you, which is your favorite clan to use in fights?
So my main and current favorite will always be Grand Blue. I absolutely love Grand Blue. As much as I'm a cute lover, I absolutely adore how Grand Blue works. I like having a secondary hand, and I just think that's really powerful. I also like Pale Moon for that same reason, having that soul hand in a sense. So I love Grand Blue. I would say next to that is probably Pale Moon. I think that there you go.
That's my hair right there.
I have been bringing here's my Zorga stuff, so I have my ride line for Zorga. That's been my main thing in Overdress. So yeah, Grand Blue all the way. I'm trying so hard to master it to its peak performance. Took it to premium, so, and I love playing it in V premium and obviously in Overdress Zorga currently. So yeah, definitely Grand Blue.
Then I remember that you took part in the standard with Zorga. What was your win-loss?
I went 3-3, so I won 3 and I lost 3, and then after that I dropped. And unfortunately, I had the same situation for both regions I entered. I entered the NA and the Asia, and I won 3 and lost 3. And they were like, I went on like a winning streak, and then I went on a lost streak really fast. I think part of it is the fact that I just got over-triggered. Another issue I was having with my deck was PGs. I had one guy literally. He hit his over trigger and hit his crits, and I didn't have a perfect guard. I wanted a perfect guard and I just literally couldn't, and I just took a lot of early damage, and then I just couldn't come back from it. Also, I piloted the deck. I literally got the deck a couple days before and have the chance to actually sit down and pilot with it as much as I could have. I actually piloted it some more, and I played it last night, and the deck is a little bit better now in my opinion. But yeah, pretty much I won some, I lost some. I had some mirror matches. I faced Bruce, I faced Baron Magnus, I decked out Baron Magnus. That was funny.
Yeah, Bruce, yes.
Yeah, there's the Bruce. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, I feel like the games were just, there is a lot of like strategic aspect of like how you want to play out your cards, and Zorga really gives you the option to like bounce stuff back, which I like. But there are certain situations where if you get behind in Zorga, you get behind to the point where you can't catch up. Eventually, like stuff like Bruce and stuff like Bastion are just gonna keep beating at you, and your hand's just gonna get smaller. So that's kind of the downside. Zorga's very fair, and like there isn't really a way to like put that aggression in unless you like run a couple like copies here and there of like a grade 2 that lets you push early on. But other than that, you kind of are stuck with your 3 swings. So especially
so, because on our side, right, we have Brendan that actually built the Zorga deck as well, and yeah, I actually should share with you the deck profile, so just to see what you think of it. So, but yeah, to kind of like you know, to add on to what you just said about Zorga as well, like it's fascinating to see just the way that Zorga performs, and despite the limitations that I have mentioned about Zorga in like the first you know, in the first DBT01, with the fact that, you know, sometimes you feel like you like you have to activate certain cards in the Alchemagic in order for them to be the most efficient way as possible. But now, seeing just people find ways around it, and especially with DBT02, the cards that come out in there that's actually gonna make Alchemagic even more flexible as well. It's gonna be very interesting to see like the Zorga deck grow up. So in DBT02, probably Zorga will be like one of the decks that will catch my interest. That has caught my interest at the point in time. So I'm just looking forward to that. So Rin says hi. So hi to me, hi to you, Orange as well, right? Yeah, actually, one more question, because then we can transition. That'll be a good way to transition into it. So have you tried Shadow Paladin before? This is by Winterwolf.
Actually, I have not. Strangely enough, one of my closest guy friends recently sold their deck because he moved, and he actually gave me an entire Shadow Paladin deck, and I ended up selling it. Something about Shadow Paladins I just have trouble getting into, though I do think the cards are really pretty, and Luard has caught my interest a couple times, and I like Mordred. I thought Mordred with the Blaster Blades was actually super low-key back like a year ago when people were like, Pale Moon and Hyuga. I was over here like, guys, but Mordred restands. The Blaster Darks restand.
Yeah.
Like, it's 70k. Those columns are impossible to get through sometimes, so I was very surprised as to how little representation representation Mordred brought to the scene at the time, but that was probably my favorite form of Shadows. I haven't tested Luard though. I watched Luard back in Spring Fest, but I haven't tested too much of it. I do know the cards though. I'm aware of like kind of like how they work, and I do know about Phantom Blaster Dragon, and I played it in Zero too, so I am familiar.
Yeah, especially so. Well, there's a few members that we know that would definitely love and enjoy just hearing your stories as well. But yeah, I asked that question because for Shadow Paladin, we did get Shadow Paladin, and this is actually the encounter cards for Cadet Sanctuary. So we got the not just the full right line, but also like extra cards that's also gonna be encounter cards as well. So for Shadow Paladin, the news is that we got the right line, which is full bow, Blaster Javelin, Blaster Dark, as well as Phantom Blaster Dragon. But then there's another couple cards that's actually coming out as cards of the day. So we're going to see the skills as cards of the day, which is Black Mage Sage Charon and Darkness Maiden Maha as well. So and Maha is looking fine. So she's always, she's always been one of the more favorite art. Yeah, she's been one of the more popular arts in the early days of that. So we go through the skills, but we also got for Dragonic Overlord as well. This is kind of like where I want to wait for Leon, because we definitely going to need his insight. He's the Dragonic Overlord guy here. But yeah, at the same time also we got Undue, we've got Bar, we've got Nehalem, we've got Dragonic Overlord, and we also got Berserk Dragon. I always call him Berserk Dragon. I don't know why, because I think that's a cooler sounding name. So yeah, so Berserk Dragon as well as Dragon Monk Gojo as well. We'll go through the skills right now. So for Blaster Javelin, actually the skills are English here. So Blaster Javelin, when it's rolled upon by Blaster Dark, reveal the top card of your deck, call it the Regard Circle as Rest if it's a unique card, and discard it if it isn't. A lot of people are making comparison that this is basically Bastion's Grade 1 Fort. Like, it does the exact same thing. And it kind of does, except for the rest part also. But the reason the rest part is there is because it follows up with what Blaster Dark does. And, of course, the continuous skill is during your turn. If you have a Vanguard with Blaster in its card name, this unit gets plus 2k, so it's a 10k booster. Which, a skill like this is actually really good for Premium, actually. Because except for the V series Blaster Javelin, I think this one would be a good Blaster Javelin to use if you do need the booster. And if you do happen to have this on as your first Vanguard, and then you write Blaster Dark after that, whichever version, then you'll be able to get the skill proc off from there. So this has really good implementations for Premium actually. So then of course we got Blaster Dark himself, the main man himself. This was the biggest worry. This is like the biggest worry on my end, because of how Premium can actually like use and abuse Blaster Dark, especially in V series. Yeah, I got completely caught off surprise by JJ, who's an Australian party player. It's like he called out these units. He's using Leofile to actually get a grade 3 on there. Then he's using Bendy to make sure that you get Phantom Blaster Dragon all for there. So I'm worried about what this card does, and thankfully it's not as bad as I hoped it would be.
Super fair.
Absolutely. Yeah, so when this unit is placed on the Vanguard Regard Circle, by paying color +1 and retiring one of your other Regards, that's where the rest unit comes in. Choose one of your opponent's Regards and retire it, and this unit gets +1 drive until the end of the turn. Now, this part of the skill was confusing. Let me ask you, Orange. When you read this skill and you go, this unit gets +1 drive, did you think that he could drive check on the Regard?
Did not. Unless the over trigger activates. I know there was a lot of controversy. Everyone was like, it drive checks on rear guard. It's like, no, it's a rear guard.
No, it's a rear guard. It can't drive check. Unless it says this unit can perform drive check, you can't drive check. So the one drive is nothing.
Text.
Exactly.
Text.
Exactly. So when I watched Vanguard Insider, and then he said that a lot of people were confused, like, where did you get the confusion from?
I guess newer players probably just they just saw the plus drive, and I think they just kind of misunderstood it. Because keep in mind, some Overdress people, it's like their first time. Like, this is like their first Vanguard, like their first Vanguard experience. So to them, they're like, oh, we can drive check. That's a thing.
Especially so. Hi Isaiah. Yeah, just to say hi for some of the people. Right, reviewer. What the timing is? My Blaster Dark. Yes, Blaster Dark is here, reviewer. So right. Emerald Samurai, we'll get to your question after we go through the Phantom Blaster Dragon as well. So yeah, this one will be really helpful, because immediately when I saw this, I immediately think, oh, over trigger, because over trigger is the only way they can get that on, and then while you can't time it, but to have that in place when it does pop off is going to be such a big boon to you.
Yeah, it's going to be a big game changer.
Yeah, it really will kind of like seal the deal for you from there. So, continuous on the Regard Circle for Blaster Dark. The other skill is during your turn. If your Regard was retired this turn, this unit gets +5k. So the auto skill actually complements the continuous skill, which is quite nice because it's nice to see that the card being very self-sufficient in order to activate its own skill. So, and I think that this is what made Blaster Dark even more better in this regard as well, because of its self-sustaining capability. It needs to be, because if it's rare on the other units and you don't have the other units, you know, it being dead in water will make this very less, you know, viable to use, especially even in Overdress as well. So it's kind of nice that this is a thing. And then of course we go to the big boy himself, Phantom Blaster Dragon. Big boy, yeah. When this unit is placed on the Vanguard circle, choose a card in your soul with Blaster in its card name, and you may call it the Vanguard circle. So you can actually use this to actually fish out Blaster Dark if you want to, or even Javelin as well, because you get the plus 10k booster, whichever you need. Then X skill on the Vanguard circle once per turn. By paying Colour +1, retiring 3 rear guards. This is a classic cost actually. Choose up to 2 of your opponent's rear guards, retire them, and this unit gets plus 10k 1 critical until the end of the turn. Just to see this skill just being the way it is like, it warms my heart, because I feel like we're back in like 2001. Just to see all of these, just to see all of this like go off. It's super nice to see like Phantom Blaster Dragon be the way that it is, and I've always found that the original like Phantom Blaster Dragon was a very neat skill. Like, it's very unique for its time when Channel Paladin first came out, and he was the ace at the time. So to see this back again in Overdress, it really is very heartwarming for me to kind of like re-see these skills and, you know, brought them up. The color bus is much cheaper, so thank goodness. But yeah, everything else remains the same, and it's superbly interesting to see them actually build Phantom Blaster Dragon the way that they did. So
I think it's very consistent. Like, you're gonna meet your conditions that you want to meet. I think exception of the 3 rearguard retire, which can be kind of hard, especially if you go against some decks that might retire your board or do something weird. But I think the consistency between going from grade 1 to grade 2 to grade 3 is actually really clean, and I think that's what Overdress has been doing in general, is making those ride lines as like consistent as possible, which I actually like. I like that about just in general what they've been doing with this. I like that just the consistency. Like, you get your retire, you'll get your skills, you can always get that blaster. It's a free unit that just comes out. You don't have to use your hand as much. Like, I think it's just nice.
Yeah. Actually, me and Leon, we did kind of like briefly touch upon like what we could expect to see from Karan as well as from Maha as well. I think Maha might have her original skill, so it's like probably counter blast 1 and you can call a grade 1 to rear guard circle as rest. So maybe that's one way they can actually get rear guards that you can give to Phantom Blaster Dragon or reinforce after Phantom Blaster Dragon. But I always thought of the fun idea of what if Kara has the ability of you know, being able to call a rear guard circle from the deck, you know, when it gets retired. Like, if it has a retire skill, then something happens.
Oh, that'd be interesting. Be good to see.
I think the more fair version, if we were to do predictions, I think Karan could be the, when this unit is retired by your own card ability, you get to draw 1. Because I think that would probably help with the match retiring that you're gonna have to do with Phantom Blaster Dragon as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so this so that's kind of like potential skills. Do you see anything wild? Like, is there anything out there that you think, you know, it probably might not happen, but what do you think would be the wildest skills that you can see Maha and Karan do?
I mean, honestly, like I said, I'm not as like familiar with shadows. I mean, the only thing they can do is plus off of retiring. Like, I think that's like really plus, like they find like, or give like power for retiring or something like that, just to kind of push the engine. Like, I think the craziest thing I can see is like a multi-attacking thing, but that would probably not be accountable. It is a Bastion oriented type of deck if you think about it, so there might be some kind of multi-attacking that maybe you can do mid-battle, but that would be like the really deep end of it. I think chances are it's probably just going to replenish your retire mechanics. So like, if you retired stuff, you just get to do other things to bring back cards into your hand, so you're not like down to like 2 cards after doing Phantom Blaster Dragon skill. So I think that's mainly kind of where it's probably gonna go. Yeah,
I agree actually. So because I think it will be as straightforward as it possibly can. Multi attacks maybe no, because I think that would be a little much.
That'll be the wild edge.
Yeah, that'll be the wild edge for there. But yeah.
But Bastion multi attacks. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's that like. Small chance, because he does whip out the multi-attacking, so there's it is a Cater Sanctuary in general, so we have to think in a spectrum of not just like shadows anymore. It's more than just shadows. It's Cater Sanctuary, so it's possible we might see something different, or something that we wouldn't normally want to see, or want to see. I guess I don't know.
We'll see.
I hope the skills are good. I hope they complete the engine. I'm excited to see.
Yeah, especially so. I'm quite excited for this as well. Let's get to some of the comments as well. Emerald Samurai, I'll just get to this one quickly. So, what's your most precious unit in the clans that you play? What is your most precious unit? Oh, she's reaching for something.
This guy!
Oh, Cositus! Oh, yeah, I saw
SP.
I saw your stream highlights. You actually got the
Yeah.
SP, yeah, you actually got the SP for your
Yeah.
birthday as well. Happy belated birthday,
I
by the way. So,
did.
yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, this is definitely probably my go-to, mainly because I took my first ever regionals was V Premium regionals, and it was with my Cocytus deck back when it was in October when Hyuga and Pale Moon, Lugia was kind of like the main thing. I took Cocytus, and I literally was on this. By the way, I was only playing Vanguard for like 2-3 months at this point, and I went in and I kept winning. And it was just crazy. I went really far. I eventually started losing though, but I mean, I was a noob. But yeah, I took Cocytus, and this will always bring me back wonderful memories of just regionals, piloting this deck, learning Vanguard. This is where I officially fell in love with Vanguard. Like, I was like, okay, Bastard is cool, and then this came out, and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't have to use my hand. I can mill, I can do stuff, I get power, Banshees this, Ghost Ship fixes. I was like, this was me. I was like, yeah. I was so excited. So this is definitely my precious unit, my Vanguard as some people call it. Definitely Cocytus. I know he's not the most attractive looking dude, but hey, he warms my heart, so that's what matters.
It doesn't matter if what they look like. What's the most important thing is what they mean to you as well. Like, yeah. I think I've gushed about this enough already, but you know, everybody knows that mine is Perfect Riser over here because I have so many good stories with Perfect Riser. And
wow.
And
this
yeah,
is the old school.
Yeah, this is the old school one. I actually have 8 of these, including 1 SP as well.
Wow.
Yeah, so I went crazy for Perfect Riser because he was my favorite unit, and I wanted to include him in many different kind of builds and decks, especially since they were moving away from Risers as they went into Beast Deity and such. But yeah, I stuck with the boy because there's no other Nova Grappler player that can, no other Nova Grappler unit can actually do the things that he does, because he gains power from every Riser in the soul, and then he gains 1 critical if enough Risers in the soul. Not a lot of decks back in the day were able to do this. This has stood up to Phantom Blaster Overlord. Whooped Phantom Blaster Overlord actually. This has gone up against the N, against Banshee Lord Blaster, against Platinite Azel, against Vermilion the Blood, although that wasn't very hard. But you know, it's gone up. It's gone up against some of the bigger titans of the game, and it stood its ground for that many years. And then after that, they came up with the Ultimate Risers, and then you know, things went downhill from there. So.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
I think Perfect Riser's cool. Like when he came into Vanguard Zero, like he was just dominating pretty much the entire meta for like a second. And I was like, by the time that card came out, I was like, oh no, here he comes, the crit. I don't have the PG skin.
Correct. Then for clans I actually play, right, I actually picked up Pale Moon after, you know, I couldn't keep up with Nova Grappler. So I actually, one of my favorite units is actually QT Paratrooper actually, because this is a very fun. This card is super fun to play in any Harry deck as well, because the Magia ability, because you call her out and after that she can call another unit out. After you soul charge one, you choose another unit call out. Yeah, so you can actually get a whole column that's very big, and then combine it with some of the strides that give power to Magia and all that as well. And you know, this is one of my more favorite units to really play in the whole entire time that I've actually done like our Rummy Rumbles. We actually had 5 different matches with between Night Rose and Harry. We call it the Rummy Rumble series. It's one of our more fun fight videos.
Maybe think of a question for you. Recently, there was like some Harry like premium deck stat tops and stuff like that. Did you think that was cool, or did you enjoy seeing Pale Moon back in action?
I don't wave the flag for any clans or nations. I'm not that kind of person. It is nice to see them top for there, but ultimately it's more towards my enjoyment. Like my favorite deck could be topping, as you mentioned, Perfect Riser topping in Vanguard Zero. It's like I'm happy for it, but you know, but I'm not a part of it at the time because you know I didn't get Perfect Riser. I was able to pull him in that, so the gacha is absolute non-existent from there. But yeah, I mean, in terms of like seeing like my favorite decks go up from there, it actually warms my heart still to see them actually be top. Although I would not go out there and replicate my decks to follow theirs, because I think their playstyle is more optimized towards them, whereas my playstyle is optimized more towards me. In fact, my premium Harry deck actually is mainly the V series, Harry with the Magia dolls, and then Cutie Paratrooper is in there just to help things along. And then at the same time also the strides also, because I found there's a bit of a loophole when it comes to the Magia dolls and Harry, because when you stride, no matter what your stride is, right, as long as the Magia dolls has been called out, they can activate their skills. So you can always get the Vanguard to be attacking at 36 or 37 rather, because you call out Prana, and Prana can give plus 10k to herself as well as to the Vanguard. So it's like, and I call this a casual deck. yeah. So a lot of people, I tend to do this. I sometimes make a deck for myself. It's very casual, but turns out it's competitive as hell. So this is one of those decks whereby that is the case, and this is a very fun deck to play for me. So
one of the decks I actually want to try out in premium eventually. Once the reprints happen, I'll probably be more leaning towards that. I currently play Nightmare Dolls in Pale Moon, both V Premium and Premium. But I definitely want to go back into Harry, because I do have the Harry stuff for V Premium, but I haven't tested it in V Premium yet, aside from like the couple strides that you can toss into any deck.
Absolutely, that's
very cool.
Yeah. We should get through a lot of these chats because I think we held up from there. So, by the way, Andrew, I know what happened, so I send my sympathies to you. But I just hopefully it'll be better. Oops, speaking of better.
Hi,
Leon.
Oh, sorry.
Hi.
Oh, dude, you're a robot.
You're a robot, yeah.
Robot.
Yeah.
You're a robot.
Check your connection. Hang on, let me just readjust the windows, because these windows are no longer correct. I'm split in half. Orange is also split in half. Where is me?
Oh yeah, we are split in half. You're right.
Yeah.
We got smaller.
Yep.
Woo.
Just trying to. Well, all my windows. Hang on, troubleshooting right now. So give me a second. I need to find the window. Okay, that closes that, and no. Nope. Yeah. There's me, and orange is. Nope. That's not the right window. No, that's not the right window. Give me a second. Leon, can we hear you, Leon? There you are. There you are.
Yeah, you're not a robot.
Yeah, you're not a robot anymore. So yeah, say hello, everybody, Leon.
Hey everyone.
And we missed a few subscribers along the way as we were talking as well. We actually got Mitch Hammer Chat that actually subscribed to us here on YouTube. We also have Ambiguous Rocket as well, Mufti Adhi, thank you for subscribing. On Twitch we also have a follower as well, Yellow Ninja as well, so thank you very much for the follows and such. Adis asked you, Orange, how you doing? He's on 4 hours of sleep.
I'm doing good, and I'm running on 6 hours, so 4 hours is way worse. I hope you get some sleep, Adis.
Please do get some.
Hi,
look.
Yep. Hi, how's it going? So, alright, let's run through these chats very quickly. So, Untapped Tournament Overdress to join for Edric. Isaac says, yo. Luke says, Blaster Dark caught my interest for Shadow Paladins. If anyone's wondering, for real Paladins was actually Lord Blaster. Yep, because those two are the big boys, or the original big boys back in the day. Edric says, yes. Mate says, we're not witches, boys. I don't know what's that in reference to. Brain, hey Brain, how's it going? I'm so happy this way. I got to see Office in action, and second, my avatar is here. Oh, hang on, give me a second. No, because Zero Plus started playing, then we have problems with the thing, so we gotta skip that. So, yeah, all Gunslaughter as well. Yep, copyright, it's a problem. Brain says, hi guys. Winter Wolf IC says, in V series, PvD is pretty overpowered, but now Bushiroad made his skill fair and square. That's the best thing about it. So, another subscriber, Winter Wolf IC, thank you for subscribing. Thank you so much. Get me to 100 subs says Jello. Hopefully that's not potato.
So much is happening, oh my god.
So much is happening right now, so yeah.
Yeah.
Luke says, "Who boy, I have a very funny feeling that the counter cards will be very pricey. What do you think?" No, I think they'll be priced just the same as every other card as well. I don't think that they'll get very, very expensive, because the skills wise, right, they don't compare to some of the other more prominent skills that you see in B series. So these cards will not be that sought after outside of Overdress. So in terms of prices, I don't think they will go that high. So I don't see them being I see them being one of the more expensive cards in the secondary market, but not so much that it's a huge leap and bound from everything else.
Collector's value, more likely.
Yes, exactly, collector's value from there.
What do you think, Orange? What do you think?
Do you expect these cards to go high in price?
I think the special, like, if do they have any special like cards, like any like SP versions of them coming out? Like, if that's the case, then those cards probably will be. But no, I think they'll be around the same price as like the pretty much everything else. I think Overdress is kind of in a weird market spot right now anyway. So I do think they might be a little bit more expensive depending on how crazy people go into the cards. Like if people are like, oh my gosh, it's my dragon, I gotta get my dragon, and so they might go crazy for him for that reason. But I think in all fairness, because Bastion exists and pretty much all these other decks exist, I think it'll even out. It might be crazy like the first couple days, and then it'll even out with the rest of the cards.
That is true. That's what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, Mate says for some reason, Javelin and Blaster Up feels like an alternate right line for Bastion since they both do the same thing. They generally do the same thing, but their gimmick is different. So while you may not see much difference, there's actually that nuance over there that differentiates between the two. So while I can actually see people using cards in Bastion in the Phantom Blaster deck, I think Fog comes to mind because I think it'll be helpful to give +5k to your Vanguard for Color Blast 1. But yeah, beyond that, they do share some similarity, but not to the point whereby they are samey.
Yep.
In my regard as well.
The grade 3 is completely different.
Curlyhead Hero has subscribed. Thank you so much.
He's getting subs.
Hey.
Yes, the fight this morning or this last night.
Yeah, you were there, so yeah, you were there.
Yeah, thank you for joining.
You went soft, Leon.
Yeah, you're very low. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
But now.
Yeah, much
How
better.
about now?
Much better.
Okay, so I was like, I woke up in the morning. I was like, it wasn't Orange saying she was streaming tonight / to this morning. Then
Yeah.
so I took my phone.
Alright.
Soga versus Paramagnus.
Yes, it was a lot of Bear Magnus and Zorga and a lot of Overdress fights last night, or for you guys, I guess early morning.
Wait, were you gambling for gift subs as well?
We were not, but the person I faced was just curly-haired hero, someone that's new to the Vanguard, by the way. Like he started with 0 and now he got into TCG.
Oh,
but
that's nice to hear. Yeah.
Yeah, he threw some subs in my face like after the games ended. And I was like, oh.
I got 3 subs.
Yeah, free subs from there. So we gotta get subs on your YouTube channel as well. So hopefully we do something quickly on your channel as soon as possible. So. I actually like Clear Hero also, like we've seen some of his tweets as well, because I think maybe you replying to them, so we saw. It was very heartwarming to actually read Clear Hero. He and his wife actually playing Overdress, and then he lost to his wife. We're probably okay with it. So. Oh hey, Yellow Ninja subscribed to us here on YouTube. He was on Twitch, but now he's on here. Hello, how's it going? Thank you so much.
Ninjas everywhere.
Ninjas everywhere. So it's a yellow ninja as well. I know some people I know some people that are scared of the color yellow, so yellow ninja surprise.
Actually, he played Joe Feather. A friend of mine.
I see. That's good.
Hey, at least it was not green. They're like, green.
Green. So. Alright, we need to run through this also before we lose orange. What about premium applications for PBD? I got Blaster Dagger V series, and how you now have access to a constant retire engine with Blaster Dagger V series being able to put itself into the soul. Premium applications for PBD won't be as prominent, I feel. You still use your more powerful V series PBD because this one is mild by comparison. And while you can use it, right, and especially if you want to take advantage of Persona, right, I'd say that would be the A-OK way to do so. But if you're looking for a bit more power, you probably will still use your V series one, and in combination with Blaster Dagger as well, they work just as well with each other, in my opinion.
If you ask me, I feel like out of the entire set, the only thing that it will probably make it into the premium will be Blaster Javelin as well as Blaster Dark only. You will stick with Origin, you will stick with VPBD, but you will have Javelin and Blaster Dark in your deck instead, because those two gives utility, and Blaster Dark that does have a slightly better effect, although you self-retire. But it does give an extra power on its own, in comparison to the V version that has no regard ability, which doesn't have power. So at most it's just this two, but not really. But it would not affect too drastic, because honestly, as mentioned, this version of PBD is more in comparison, because one, it doesn't have a force marker, it has a build of power, but at the same time, because Persona Right takes one more additional turn, so you might be taking a while before you can set up or anything really.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Makes sense indeed. So, Andrew says 10 minutes, but I think he's already gone already. So, but yeah. He also said, "Oh my God, Cap! I don't know what he was referring to. It's been a while." So, but Brain says the sad part PBD has no more to deal damage back in V series. I think that was only in V series because if they brought something like deal damage immediately, right, that would have been too much in Overdress, I think. So that's why they reverted back to the original Phantom Blaster Dragon back in the day, the very first one. So.
Or should I say zero Phantom Blaster Dragon?
Also can, yeah, but better, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. With the Wolf IC says, Cap and Orange, once these Shell Pardon cards come out, would you guys try them out? Yes, I absolutely will try them out. So once we get our hands on them, we definitely Brendan, who's playing Captain Sanctuary, would definitely pick up Phantom Blaster Dragon. So that's a good way for me to experience it there, and I think it's gonna be fun.
Same. Personally, I do run Shell Paladin. I run all 3 Paladin decks, including Dragonic Overlord in the past. That most definitely will play this deck for the fun of it. Probably just borrow from Brandon or JJ in this case, because they are one Keta and JJ is a huge fan of Blaster, Phantom Blaster series. So yeah,
absolutely. Orange, show the cool art.
What?
Show the cool art, because I think it was referring to the Zorga one. I think maybe you're
the
playing.
cool Zora SP.
No.
Or the.
Not sure, because it's been a while. Probably, if you're still in the chat, you probably have to clarify. Then I'll get to it as quickly as possible. Yes, Andrew says that mine is multiple favorites, but it was Glendios, Genesis Witches, Pasiteers, Narukami as a whole. So yeah, that's what he does. So, Rin says Cap should clip last week's stream about him talking about Perfect Riser. No, that's way too much work. So that's like 3 hours, and I dedicated like about 30 minutes of me just talking about how badly Risers got messed up as we go along into Vanguard back in the day. So
trust me, the blind, deaf, comatose lobotomy patient will have felt his anger.
It's all condensed in the recap video that I did. In the recap video that I did on that week, which is last week, it's all condensed into there. So yeah, probably one of these days I probably would like just export just that very part and maybe just put it up on socials. But yeah, it's all condensed into there essentially. So. And Kagura 2, Pale Moon as well for Luna, right? With IC, sorry, read that already. Luke says, well, Orange, one day I can hope to remote fight you one day. So, yeah, as long as you join up in her Twitch streams, so if she's doing remote fights, yeah. Feel free to.
I stream fights, and I have a line. I usually ask like, hey, I'm gonna do remote fights, and usually it's just first come first serve basis, unfortunately, because there's a line. Everyone wants to remote fight.
Yeah, so yeah, do I hope you don't mind waiting, but yeah, just keep up with her socials. Her information is on the description box below. Keep up with socials and just check out her when she's streaming next.
I stream every Tuesday. I'm trying to add another day. It's been hard with just my schedule, but I'm trying to add one more day so I can start remote fighting people more often. But yeah, I'm on my Twitter. I'm active every day. YouTube, all the fun stuff.
Correct. So, give me 100 subs says my favorite is any Overlord for Kageros, Bastard Liberator for goals, Ganslot Peace Saver for royals, and energy unit for gear. Nice. Oops, I lost it right there. Just give me a second.
I think we might have to stick to some questions and not everything, because otherwise we won't have time.
We gotta go from there. So let me hi. Everybody's all saying hi to you, Orange. Yes. Blah 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 blah. Robot. Yes. Liberators are good in premium. Liberators are good in premium. I would love to see Blaster Liberator make a comeback for Gold Paladins and a good counter charging engine with Shenanigans and Subji Guardians. I honestly don't think we'll see any Keta Sanctuary encounter cards next year. I think the other nations should get the encounter cards, personally speaking.
Probably most likely a Chronojet. Very likely Chronojet.
Chronojet makes sense also. Chronojet would make sense. Andrew asks, Andrew asks, do you happen to have any favorite Vanguard match stories? I have 3 I love telling. One of them is such an anime RG fight. Yes, he's told this story before. So, but we posed the question to you, Orange. Do you have any Vanguard stories, match stories?
Vanguard stories?
Yeah.
Let me think off the top of my head. I mean, I went to regionals recently. I went to Spring Fest recently, so there's like that. But I also went to regionals, before COVID hit. And that was its own kind of experience. It's kind of a long story though. Like I literally was like a newbie that just kept winning for 4 games in a row. So that was insane. I took my cocytus and I just kept going and kept going and kept going. And I had a lot of angry people. I faced a Melody guy, and he was just really mad that I beat him with the cocytus deck. But recently, actually at Spring Fest, I had someone forfeit on me. I was playing Bermuda Triangle Prisms, and they were playing Genesis. And I rode, and then he rode, and I rode, and he rode, and I rode, and then he was like, I forfeit. And I'm like, huh? He's like, yeah, I don't feel like playing this deck. And I'm like, okay.
Wow.
Like, he literally just dropped the call and everything. And I was just like,
wow.
But Vanguard.
But Vanguard, yes.
Yeah. That's the only thing I can think of recently. He was doing that. I forget her name, but she's the girl that restands with the gauges and stuff like that. The Force 2.
I think it's Artemis. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, just the more recent support, I guess. It's not Astro Poet or Valkyrion.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just very surprised. It just like ditched, and I was like, okay, I guess I took a free W.
Yep.
3 wins.
3 wins.
Wins win.
Also, Aegis is finally home as well. Hi, Aegis. Aegis Mark II is another Vanguard YouTuber, and we had him on as a guest before. So
It's from Hong Kong, actually.
He's from Hong Kong.
Hong Kong, right?
Ooh.
Yep.
From Hong Kong. So
Hong Kong,
we have
yeah.
fighters
Hong
from
Kong is
all over the world.
Yep. Brain asks how much SP Zorga is worth. I just put it today.
60.
I don't know.
No idea.
I think it's $60.
How is it $60 on your end?
I'm dead ass. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to curse, but I'm serious.
It's fine.
I'm almost because I want that Zorga SP really bad. I'm pretty sure it's $60 right now.
Japanese Zoga is like what, $4?
It's 74. It went up. It's $74.72 right now, which is extremely expensive for an SP, by the way. Yeah, I'm so serious. There's 6 listings total, but yeah, it's pricey.
Brain,
If guys, I'm jumping to English now. Bye guys. Oh.
Brain, if yours is an English SP, I think I just found you a buyer. So check your socials for that. So.
No, I'm keeping mine.
Yeah. No. I mean, he sell you another one so you can have 2 Zorga SPs.
Hey, I would love more Zorga SPs. Give them to me. I'll throw my wallet in your face.
Indeed. So
Sorry,
I
like
won't
Matt the intern.
be like Matt the intern. Yeah.
No, that's me. Right? I'm just apologizing in case we cannot answer everybody.
Yeah.
So it's quite overwhelming. We have a lot of people here today.
Yeah, we have a lot of people here.
Is this normal?
Yeah.
No, this is not.
No.
okay.
Sometimes it's actually quite. When we have guests, this is normal. But on most nights, yeah, this is normal because sometimes we go over like a lot. Like the last live stream, I went over to like 10 p.m. Or more, no, actually 11 p.m. because I was just talking about stuff from there. So, but yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh, I see Theodore. Hey, Theodore.
Oh, hi Theodore.
Titan Gaming is one of the guys that is very well known for doing Battle Spirits content. So yeah, he's one of our friends. So yeah.
Yeah, Battle Spirits is another card game that we cover over here. So it's done by Bandai. They're well known for they're mostly known for having collaboration sets. So within the card game itself, they actually have IPs like Godzilla as well as Ultraman as well. So some of the more pop culture icons in television for Japan side, they actually have like collaborations and cards that is actually competitive actually. So yep. Martin says this is normal. Cap lied. Cap in your lie. Look, it's perfect, right? No, that's just me. So.
No, I don't lie. I just straight up just flings it into the sea like evil will. Like Weevil. Yeah, Exodia.
So,
no, against.
Yeah. Andrew, as much as we welcome you sharing your 3 stories from there, we don't have Orange here for a lot longer, so we're just gonna proceed on from there. And yeah, I actually held off on talking about Dragonic Overlord because I wanted to have you here, because we want to have your opinion.
Yay.
So yeah, let's talk about Dragonic Overlord right now with his right line. So armor embodiment of armor bar. I don't know how Jasmine got. Jasmine is a friend of ours. She tried to translate it. She ended up translating armor as sword. And we don't know why. So
That's silly.
that's hilarious also. But anyways, his skill, bar skill is when this unit is brought upon by Nehalim, counterblast 1 search your deck for up to 1 grade 1 card, reveal it, add it to your hand, and shuffle your deck. And his other skill is when your Vanguard's attack. Very good card. When this unit attack hit on the Vanguard circle once per turn, Vanguard attack hit rather, this unit gets +5 to end of the turn. This one disappoints Leon a little bit because he was hoping for Conroe, but this is basically Conroe built in.
It's like gimmicky Conroe, I guess you can say.
Yeah,
Though I think in premium, if you run the vanilla engine, because it's the same name, right? So you can get away with it. You can search for the vanilla right on top, get your free grade 1. So
yeah, because it's search for the name. As long as the name is Dragonic and Harlem, even if it's the older ones, you can write it on also.
It still works, yeah.
Yeah, but of course,
why would you do that?
Yeah, of course, that's not the most ideal ideal net Harlems to write up also, because the one you want to write up is actually the grade 2 over here, which is his skill when rolled upon by a unit with Overlord in his name. I hate this part. I hate reading this part. When this unit is rolled upon by a unit with Overlord in its card name, you may call this card to a rearguard circle.
I have so many ideas on my ass right now. You don't even know what's coming.
So many ideas. Like we had a short brief brainstorming on that also. But for Nehalim, X skill once per turn. If you have a Vanguard with Overlord in its card name, cost Soul Blast 1, and all of your Vanguards and this unit gets plus 5k to end the turn. This is the biggest surprise and like probably the biggest thing for Kagura right now, because all of your Vanguards, which immediately tells us Legion. So there was a very good reason why the cross, the old Legion Dragon Overlord, the cross was being reprinted in Revival Collection, because this is coming out.
It makes a lot of sense, actually.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
Yeah, all of your Vanguards, which includes both the main Vanguard and the Legion Leader and the Legion Mate itself, so both of them will actually get a plus 5k, meaning that center column will be plus 10k in total if you Soul Blast 1 with this card also, which makes this card really, really good. And the fact that it says
like
that
Kagura.
Yeah, exactly, it's Kagura, Overlord the clan, as the joke is. So.
Yeah.
Overlord the clan is a joke. So. But yeah, this card is super universal for any Overlord deck also, and I can see this card actually like having high demand, because there's gonna be a lot of people that want to have as many copies of this as possible in all of their decks also, especially Kagura players. Can't speak fully on that. Yeah.
Okay, to be honest, if I was given a choice, I might not run this in premium, because I think I have better things to play. And there's actually better things to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The nice things that we've seen thus far with all these cards, right, is that there are better cards that we can choose for premium, and I think that should be alright, because while the Overdress cards are good, but if you really want to ramp up a lot of power, you will look at the others, because I think the others will provide you more bang for your buck in that regard, whereas this one is just good for Overdress. And I think it's nice that even though these cards can be used in premium, they are more suited for Overdress, and that kind of keeps the separation over there between all three formats, if in my own personal opinion. So
that is correct. That is exactly how I feel it.
Indeed.
That was almost total. But
And
okay, wait, let me do this.
Go ahead.
And
Go ahead.
okay, so we have Dragonic Overlord, alright? Okay, this one I must read it personally. Alright, so continuous Vanguard and Rearguard ability. During the battle, this unit attacks a Rearguard. Your opponent cannot call Guardians to the Guardian Circle from hand. The next ability, autos Vanguard once per turn. When this unit attack hits, cost Counter Blast 1 and discard a card from your hand. Send this unit, and this unit gets -1 drive until the end of the turn. This is a good card. Okay, it's not broken in any way, because technically speaking, this is the V version Dragonic Overlord without the extra power and a very annoying rearguard skill to deal with, because he has the cannon guard from hand ability.
No, go ahead.
But if you ask me, right, after giving it like a day to process, right, if anything, I felt that the PBD version is better. PBD is actually a bit better than this, because this thing lacks power. Although it has a restand ability, but it is reliant on. But there is not a lot of high pressure to it. It's annoying, but it's not pressury enough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
It doesn't have a lot of pressure.
Yeah, so what do you,
and Overlord, it's all about pressure.
What do you think, Orange? Like to come up against something like this, what would you be worried about your opponent cannot call Guardians to from hand? Would that worry you? If you were to
I think it depends on how badly I want my rear guard. I think at like end game type of situations, when you're at 5 damage to 5 damage, and your opponent just really wants to just be annoying, I think it can kind of get some interesting stuff going on. But honestly, it's just it attacks a rear guard, and you either guard it because you don't because you want it, or you let them have the, like, you're not gonna give up that power anyway. You can't guard it. They're just gonna take it. So I don't know. I don't think it's that problematic. I think it's a good awkward tech that you can throw into decks because it is a Vanguard rearguard skill. So if you really want to in the future, you can just throw it in, like sprinkle it in, and just have it be annoying. But that's about it.
Oh, I expect that from Leon.
Yeah, because you can even Nirvana. I mean, it's useless at the moment, but if you were to have a Nirvana deck, you can literally put this in just to have a form of retire, I guess, like have it attack rear guards. But it's just that's just weird things you can do with it because it is a rear guard skill as well. But other than that, I don't really see too much of a oh no, I'm dead, I'm screwed type of thing. It just feels like an Overlord with just a little extra annoyingness attached to it.
Yeah. It's Monday says, is this Eugene support? I was actually about to make a joke about that.
It would be interesting, but Eugene, you already retire everything. You wouldn't have anything to hit.
That's fair.
In a sense, right?
That's
fair. Unless you just completely whiffed everything, you just had a turn where you don't have soul or you don't have any way to retire. Like, I mean, it won't really be doing you too much.
Actually, like, to be honest, right, if anything, the thing about Eugene is that you want to control the amount of destruction you do because you might end up shooting yourself in the foot for the most part. So, but it's definitely one of those things that you could play on the side because Eugene has a thing where you rest 2 rear guards, right? Then you retire something. So you shoot his back row for it. Then you proceed to annoy him with an unboosted Overlord to hit the rear guard. And then it's just like, this for 5k, but you cannot guard from hand, so you would like to intercept with the more important thing over there.
Hi, potato.
It's just annoying.
It's just annoying. It's not anything particularly like, oh no, it's just, bro.
Bro, I'm about to hit your rear guard, you can't guard it.
You can't do anything about it, bro.
Yeah, I can't do anything about it, bro. But I think that is what you just said, Orange, actually is in praise of how balanced this card actually is. Because of the fact that, while this card will be most viable for it to be Vanguard Circle, so you're playing the full right line, and it's hard to actually include this in Nirvana because Varina Valiant is already a thing. And on top of that, you also have Elgar that's coming out next week as well. We're getting news on that next week. So and also it's hard to see in Eugene as well because Eugene by right, you should be destroying everything on the field as much as possible. So having them have on the regard circle actually wouldn't make sense. So something like this wouldn't really affect too much also. So but all that I say in praise because it's nice to really see how as veteran players also, it's nice to really see how they took the concept of Dragonic Overlord's restanding capabilities and how it used to be back in Zero at this point in time and beforehand when it first came out, to see the skill reworked into the way it is, which is your opponent cannot call guardians when you're attacking a rear guard. So yeah, it really emphasized and again back to 2011. Brings us back to 2011 whereby a card like this actually like the skill works in the same way that it did back then, and it's nice that it's done in a way whereby it's also a buff as well because it guarantees that you are able to proc off his restand and also proc off other skills like bar as well, just so you can get the plus 5k power to go off as well.
And plus just another input for it. The other thing is that although it does say that there is no restriction against using order cards to give power to said rear guards to prevent it from getting killed, but this begs the question of whether do you even want to spend an order card on it?
Yeah, and to add on to that as well, unless you're playing Zorga, unless you're playing Zorga to a certain extent, would you really be playing that many blitz orders just to protect yourself against Dragonic Overlord? Would you be able to find them?
I mean, it depends, because most decks do run blitz orders in general just because of the awkward shield right now. Like, there are, like, the blitz orders that give the 15k. So, honestly, I mean, it wouldn't be bad to just, like, throw it down just so they don't restand.
Yeah.
I would do it. I would do it just so... I don't want it restanding. I think it's kind of, like, awkward. If your opponent attacks at the rear and you guard it, that's it.
Yeah, but my point is, how likely are you to hold on to find that blitz order? And just keep it for just to stop Dragonic Overlord for like that one time.
Yeah,
true.
and
true.
and the best part is that the worst thing is that he has a front row of Dragonic Overlords.
No. We're forgetting the worst part about it. He still has twin drive.
Yeah, he still has twin drive.
He still has twin drive.
True.
So yeah, so it's like, exactly. That begs the question: do you really want to throw it down? Is it really worth I'd rather let
Yeah,
him resend,
no.
just see what he has, and then okay, no crits, then I'll just take it like a man, you know,
Yeah.
take it like a true player.
Correct.
So, that kind of thing.
Take it like that.
Correct.
Bring it on.
Bring it
And
on.
then he
yeah.
proceeds to then he proceeds to crit you and some stuff.
Especially indeed as well. But yeah, in terms of news, this is all that we actually gotten from the live stream as well, and of course, these discussion streams that we do always help to filter our thoughts for when we do the recap video for that's coming out tomorrow as well. I think Andrews wanted me to talk about the recent V-Clan selection information. So I guess his girl and boy in OTT coming out. So let's see if we can find those.
Those cards are really pretty.
Yeah. So well, this should. Oh wait, no. Yeah, this is for Musketeer. So this is actually Vera and Saul. This is the old Legion now coming back to here. And then I think this is a new Musketeer. I think she has. I think it's a new Musketeer. I don't remember the name. Oh, Roof. Sorry,
I don't
Roof.
know too
No.
much about you, Nectar.
Yeah, I'm asking myself. So, Roof is an old unit as well. But the skills that we can expect from them is call Regard Circle from your deck and retire her to counter charge. For Neo Nectar, actually, this is actually pretty helpful, especially with the retiring and reinforcing. Saw is a skill that can call Regards from the top of the deck, but what happens if you call a trigger unit? Oh! But what happens if you call a trigger unit?
It'll probably be called.
Yeah, but
Watch
you know,
it be called, and it gets power.
yeah, or maybe like retire or something happens to it, then you can do it again,
Yeah.
kind of. Yeah.
It seems like that's what they're pushing for with trigger units. They did the same thing with Grand Blue too, where like if you mill a trigger, something will happen, but they didn't say what.
Yeah,
So-
correct. Then of course Vera is a skill that calls 2 Regards from the top of your deck, then call 2 Musketeers to get +1 drive. If your whole deck is Musketeers, that's no problem. Then if Saul is actually present, then you can power up your allies. So if you have Saul on the field, then you can actually get a lot more power out for your Musketeers that way, which I think is on par with what Musketeers used to do back in the day. So this is quite nice to see. Pretty nice. And of course for OTT, this is very odd. I found this to be very odd. But these cards are new supports for Tsukiyomi. Which is
We haven't heard about Tsukiyomi in a while.
no, not
Yeah,
at all. So, and yeah, the Sae would be able to superior ride Tsukiyomi when you ride. Okay, so they're actually replacement cards. So this one serves as a replacement card. So if you can't ride the correct unit, you can actually superior ride the correct unit. Some way somehow from that. So the skill that the Tsukiyomi deck was waiting for, yeah, it absolutely needed. Because the Tsukiyomi deck problem was that if you miss, nothing happens. Nothing happens. So you did it. So then the other one is for Fuyo. Oh my god, that feels like a Uncle Roger joke. So but anyways, Fuyo. Skill that puts a normal unit from your drop zone. We'll explain that later. Skill that puts a normal unit to drop to the top of the deck. Then support for Tsukiyomi deck in all sorts of situations. Okay, so general support for Tsukiyomi, which is quite nice to
That's
see.
actually pretty good. That sounds pretty good because you guard with your trigger and then put it back on top.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Really good cycling.
Really helpful, especially if we need units to come out. So then the new one, Tsukumiori. Then this is gonna get hard to use to. What happens when you drive check a normal unit? Oh, and then you can put the grade 2 or the second unit talk about to the top of the deck and drive check. Oh, okay.
Huh.
Okay, so this is surprising because this is a functional deck on its own, its accompaniment with Tsukiyomi actually makes it even better.
You want to bet that they're gonna print it as part of the clan selections for the rest of the spots.
Yeah.
Sounds fun.
It's more likely to happen. So yeah, because it will defeat the purpose quite a bit if they're gonna print a Tsukiyomi support with no Tsukiyomi inside. Because when the Blood came out, they reprinted the normal Vermilion. Just to complement it. So it will not be a surprise that they also reprint the entire right line for Tsukiyomi. And oh my god, my dog is going crazy outside because I turned on the air conditioning. It's just scratching on my door right now. Hang on, give me a bit.
Yeah, bring him in. Bring him in for our guest. Bring him in.
I think the reprint would be very needed for the Tsukiyomi stuff, to be honest. I remember I tried to pick it up one time and it was so expensive, and I was like, I guess oh, puppy!
Yeah.
Oh, he's so cute. Is it a boy or a girl?
It's a boy. His name is Jody.
Boy.
Yeah, his name is Jody.
Aww.
Yeah,
He's cute.
The in-house Bingo.
Yeah, the in-house toy bugal. It's the in-house toy bugal. Yeah. In the V clan collection, actually, is there any clan that has your attention? You know, outside of the ones that you play, which is Grand Blue and maybe Bruno Triangle as well.
I mean, I haven't talked about it, but I am also a Bermuda shrimp, I guess you could call me.
Yeah.
I am excited for the Bermuda stuff. Mainly because I just love the variety of premium in that aspect, so I'm excited to see those cards so I could just throw them into premium, pretty much. But yeah, I'm excited for that, and obviously Grey Blue and Pale Moon and all that stuff. I'm trying to be very particular with the V collection. I'm trying to keep it to like 3, max like 4 decks, because I'm playing all 3 formats. It's hard to keep up with everything, so I try to just kind of. Gear Chronicle might be another one, because I do have a full-fledged out Gear Chronicle deck for V Premium. So maybe I have the Chrono Jet, and I actually have the Tigers. I have both variants, and I like the look of Gear Chronicle a lot. I like the steampunk look of it. So I am interested to see what they bring out for Gear Chronicle. But outside of those 4, probably not. My roommate plays, so he'd be picking up like the Spikes and Angel Feathers and DI stuff. So like we kind of do it where he picks up clans that he plays, and I pick up clans I play. Then we kind of face each other. So we have like 8 clans to kind of work with. So it works out pretty well for
Very
us.
nice as well. It's nice to see a Chrono Fang Tiger play as well, because one of my more favorite decks to play is actually Chrono Fang Tiger in the G era, actually. In the G era.
I love Chrono Fang Tiger.
Which was kind of a hand-me-down from me to him.
Yeah, it's a hand-me-down also. But I have a story with that Chrono Fang Tiger as well. I think while I still have it, I can tell you quickly. Do you know the voice actor for Chrono in the G era?
Yes.
No, the Japanese guy?
I don't know him, but I do.
You know him, right? Yeah. So, Mark Ishii. I played against him with that Chrono Fang Tiger deck, and it was Chrono Jet versus Chrono Fang.
That's so crazy! Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
Yeah, it was funny, and you know we played it as a casual game. That he realized that you know I'm also playing the deck for show as well. Like I bounced off the energy that he was giving out. So it's like, you know, I called out Nani, then we just went into a Nani fit. Like Nani.
You need your gray Ibuki hair. Bring out the Ibuki.
no, but yeah, but at the end of the day, but at the end of that match, right, we just kind of like played to the crowd, and we just had a very good time. And I think,
amazing.
Yeah, and I don't know about any other else, but I personally, like, that's like one of the more fun matches that I've had with any stranger outside of the people that I know. So like outside of Leon and everybody else, he's like one of my most favorite Vanguard matches to play on also, because it's such a fun story, and things just happen to line up like so nicely. Like you can't help but think that, you know, when I won the big old rock paper scissors just to be able to fight him, it's like this is fate right here. Let's go. But yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where was I?
So, no, we were talking about what we are looking forward to.
What about you, Leon? Yeah, what about Leon? Anything really eye-catching to you? Like, we know that you go for... does Vowing Sword actually pique your interest for Narukami?
I'm in that state of the what's his name again? The guy that played Batman. What's his name?
The guy that played Batman? What?
Vivian. What was his name again? The actor? What's his name again? Suddenly,
What?
the guy that played BVS Batman.
Ben Affleck?
Ben Affleck. You know the beam where he just sits there.
Oh, Sad Affleck. Yeah. The Sad Affleck meme.
Yeah, Sad Affleck. That's me. That's me for the entire V selection, because I saw Think Saber Dragon, then I saw Raging Form, I saw Providence Core, then I was just like, Dragon Newt? But then at the back of my head, I was like, I got a feeling it's still Dragon though. Like, oh no.
Yeah,
I saw Vowing Sword. I don't have a lot of attachment with Vowing Sword. JJ does. One of our player, JJ. He is also kind of a hand-me-down. I kind of like he took over my Narukami Sword to play Vowing Sword and Vowing Saber reversed. Then I stayed with Gala Buster and Descendant. So neither of the cards really had. I didn't really have a big history either of these cards, and I don't like them. Heck, as a matter of fact, I gave my Steel Dragon deck to Cap.
Yeah.
So if anything, right, this entire V selection is not for me. Only some of the supporting cards inside intrigues me, but otherwise, I'm not exactly very high for the V selection, unfortunately.
That's a shame also.
Yeah, that's a shame. But when the blood showed up, it was something else. It was fun though.
Absolutely so. Right now it's actually 9:34 at the moment right now. So Orange, do let us know if you need to head off.
I still got a couple minutes. Like,
yeah.
like I said, my work starts around 10, so as long as I can get out by like 9:45, 9:50, I'll be good. My job is literally right there. More computers, so
yeah.
I'm not too far away from it. All I have to do is just move my chair.
Yeah, I had an inkling that would be a work computer in the background as well. So, but yeah, I mean it's nice that things are quite convenient in one space for you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I work from home, so
we all have to.
yeah, actually, I used to actually be a frontline worker. I used to work at a supermarket like a year ago. So
yeah, same here. But yeah, that's pretty much just most of the news that actually came out from today, especially from Tuesday's live stream. So yeah, I think that is the news rather. So let's see if there's any. Again, if you guys have any questions, because we don't have Orange for much longer, if you guys want to ask any questions to Orange, do get them in right now. Then we can answer. Then we can answer as many as we can before she heads off. So, yep. So, Vimero says that some of the VRs are actually horrible to find and are so expensive. In my opinion, or rather in our opinion, me and Leon, we've always found that the VR rarity is the dumbest thing ever. Because there were cards that were exclusive to that rarity. There was no lower rarity version of it, and those cards are actually much needed. So like your Himikos, your Pulverizer will be one of those as well. So just so many of the VRs, right, that are actually like key to the deck are locked behind that rarity, and then you can only get so many VRs in a set. So the prices for them not only become scarce, the quality becomes scarce, especially in English version, but also because their prices are also very, very high because of how rare they are. And yeah, I mean, what do you think, Orange? Like, do you really think that the VRs are actually like do you share your sentiments?
As a person who started in with the VR stuff, I think at the beginning I was like really hyped. And honestly, I played clans that just had really cheap VRs. I mean, have you seen the price for this guy? Like, his VR form is like literally 70 cents right now, and his SVR is like $2. So personally, I didn't really have that struggle as hard as I did when I started getting into other clans, and then I started realizing, like, if you want to build a deck, there's like two things that you really need. You need your VRs, and you need perfect guards, and both of those are really expensive. Like, it's like, oh, spend $10 on your Vanguard rare card. Cool, okay, $10 each is $40. Now you need your perfect guards, which are also like between $6 to $10. Back then, obviously they had the reprints, but before the reprints, it was like you had to throw $80 down just on 8 cards. Sometimes you have to think to yourself, is it worth doing all that hard work? And that's kind of where the budget decks kind of start coming into play. But no, I do agree with you. I think obtaining cards that are really crucial to the deck, like you have to ride to grade 3. You need your grade 3. Having that like being locked behind that aspect of spending a lot of money on a card that you need, I agree with you. It's pretty troublesome, and I'm definitely happy that they kind of got rid of it and kind of kept it like cleaner. Though to be honest, in Overdress, you kind of have a similar situation. You need your ride deck, right? You need that ride deck, and those cards are not all of them are that cheap. Like you need like you need Valiente. Valiente is $20. And over here in America, they're all like super overpriced. So honestly, I don't think too much has changed. Like, they took the VRs off, added more stuff, but the prices are kind of still the same. You still need very key cards, and it's really hard to obtain those key cards.
Yeah.
Cards are pricey too.
Yeah, well, some things don't change. I think taking out the extra rarity, right, actually made things a lot more easier, and especially since the triple R's are actually more in print. So being able to find stock of it would be a lot more easier than those VRs also. And also, I didn't realize, but
double R's.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Yeah. No, I was just saying that I didn't realize that there's actually an orange emote, because we got Adis here saying "Orange, fight me."
Oh.
You're an awesome person. Not now, but later point in time. Adis, find her on Twitch. So find her on Twitch and follow her socials, all in the description box below. So, one question from Luke actually.
Okay.
Oh, what?
At least let me have my input on that matter.
Yeah, great.
Okay, so just really quick to sum it up. VR to me was a problem because not just because it was usually the VRs are stable. They're more likely to be stable than anything. I mean, who are we kidding? Gala Buster Dragon, all these things. What I really have a problem is that the triple R itself does not scale properly to face against the VRs. Hardly, even though you can make a budget deck, but you can never really match anything if you are not using the VR. That was just how bad the power scaling was. Price is one thing, but the VR being staples and limited in numbers, it causes inflation. And then it causes other issues. I mean, it's understandable when staple cards gets expensive. It's normal. Any card game would be Stardust Dragon or whatever, Firewall, all that kind of nonsense. But the real problem is that there is a very limited supply, a very limited supply of where you can get this these staple cards, and whoever don't get it, you lose out on the fight wherever you go. That was just how bad it was.
Very
that's my input on the whole VR issue.
Yeah.
They're gone now.
Yep, they're gone now.
Moving on.
So, Ege says time for D20 VG. Orange, are you aware that we made Vanguard where you use a D20 to decide your triggers?
I did see you guys posted. I think it was on Twitter.
Yeah, it was on Twitter.
I saw on Twitter you guys did like the whole spreadsheet and everything. I haven't played or tried it, but I did see the D20 where the D20 decides what happens.
Yeah.
So.
Again, actually we've recorded some D20 Vanguard videos, so do look forward to those on his channel and ours as well. So
yeah, check it out.
Sure. Absolutely. So everybody else as well. Luke actually asked us the question: have you ever used any of the Zero Dragon cards? We'll start with Orange.
Me?
Yep.
Yeah. To be honest, I have the Megiddo card, but it's such an edge case, especially in the deck I play with Grand Blue. It's like I could Megiddo, or I could Bad Bounty, or I could just loop through with my Obadiah. You kind of have a lot of options, so where sometimes Megiddo just isn't something you need. Also, 2 counterblasts can be kind of painful, especially with the current meta being so fast. You won't get to your Megiddo sometimes. It's super edge case, but I have used it. I've only used the Megiddo. I haven't tested with the other ones because the main premium decks I play is like Grand Blue and Bermuda Triangle, which both use Megiddo, and I use Pale Moon. I just never got around to getting the Xerox Dragon for the Pale Moon one yet, mainly because I don't want to spend money on the Whoop cards. I can't remember the name, but the expensive cards that are getting reprinted in Pale Moon. I've been waiting on that, so that's why I haven't been investing into Pale Moon. But yeah, Xerox Dragons, I like them. They're kind of slow though, in my opinion.
I can agree with the slow part as well. I've had many videos whereby I used the Zero Dragon and I lost out completely.
Exactly, it's 2 counterblasts, and unless you know you're going for the kill turn, it's painful. Sometimes other versions of the same thing is better. Like you could Bad Bounty and multi-attack with your Skull Dragons the same way you can Megiddo and multi-attack with your Skull Dragons, but you have to use 1 less counterblast for it. So sometimes it's just perspective and what's better for you.
Correct. I think in our experience we haven't had a lot of success when it comes to Zero Dragons, but admittedly Zero Dragons have their element of fun. Like the risk reward is actually one of the more fun aspects of the Zero Dragons. Although them again, it's the rarity. They're locked behind another rarity, and even though you need one of them, they're like
they're so expensive. They're getting reprints.
Yeah, they're coming in reprints for English.
They're coming. Hopefully they won't be too crazy now that the reprints are coming.
Yeah. No, Leon. Is there any time that you use the Zero Dragons that I'm not aware of?
No, I completely kick all of your asses without it.
So, he doesn't believe in Zero Dragons because he's too used to fighting with his own decks.
Yeah, because I am a Dragonic Overlord main, so half the time the fight ends before it even reaches to that point. So it's either I'm dead or they are dead. It's either one or the two. There's hardly ever
there's no
jokes
in
aside,
between.
you know?
Yeah,
jokes aside. And plus, usually I don't find myself to be put in a position where I can maximize the Zero Dragons. I do have once or twice in fight videos where I do have it in my deck. I just kind of I slide it in, and we see what happens from there. But usually nothing happens. We just didn't have the chance to use it because as Orange points out, it's quite slow. For most cases, especially in Kagero, there isn't a lot of way to flip a G of your choice, or rather, sometimes your other G units are much better than going into that because you have a sure kill with things like Ziegenberg. Or you have a 5 drive check with the Purge. You have all of these options. So then there's the Zero Dragon. It's just kind of there.
Yeah. That's why Blade Master Loop exists, right? You don't even need your G zone. You just go straight into your ham turn, and you don't even need that G zone.
No, just your vision token. It's just me, myself, and your ass. So.
Yeah,
the Griffin just to stop your crap. That's it.
Basically what they call the Transam Playmaster deck. It was a Gundam reference, but there's a Gundam reference, but because of you play like 8 stands in the deck, and then the vision token just like.
What are you doing?
Out of the 600 animes, was Gundam in one of them, Orange?
Unfortunately I haven't touched the Gundam era. I watched it briefly, one of the older ones, like back in 2004, but I can't remember the name of it. It was a classic one, and then obviously there's Code Geass, which implements Gundams. But to be honest, outside of that, I haven't piqued that interest yet. I'm interested in it because my roommate actually builds Gundams, but I haven't found the time to actually invest into it. I'm too invested into everything else I'm doing. But I like them. I think the concept of them is cool. I like building my anime figures though.
Yeah.
I have a lot. They're not in my room right now. They're upstairs, but I have a lot of figures and things I build.
Yep.
2004. Pretty sure it's Gundam Seed.
Should be Gundam Seed, yeah. Should be Gundam Seed.
That was like
that was an old one. Yeah. I just remember, I don't know, it was during my era of anime between like 2004 and 2010 where I just watched everything, and I know Gundam was in there at some point.
Yeah, usually it's Naruto, Bleach, Gundam Seed, and
the Trinities.
Yeah, so...
okay, probably Leon doesn't need any Zero Dragons. He just needs the Dragonic one.
Well, he's got a new one. He's got a new one right here. So, all right, I think. All right, I think this is the last question that you're getting before we have to let you go. So, Andrew asks you: is it the original Megiddo or is it the Moe Gido?
It's. I have the original Megiddo. Unfortunately, I don't have the Grabu deck on me at this moment. But it's not the waifu one. It's just the regular one. Right. I think it is a rarity because the rarity one was cheaper than like the original one. I can't remember because there's like 3 different rarities. I think I have the XGR or something like that. It's a shiny one, but it's not waifu.
It's not the waifu also. Yeah, the ZR. I think there's a ZR and the triple R versions because those are the only 2 versions that exist.
I just have the shiny one. It's got a lot of. I mean, they're both shiny, but it's got a lot of extra font and gold stuff on it. I have to look at it again. Yeah, but it's very pretty. It was cheaper than the other one, and I was like, well, I mean, it's $10 cheaper. I guess I'll get it. Like,
yeah, it's just the same. So
yeah, it's just the same thing, and it's prettier.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so it's already 9:47 here, so we will have to let Orange go. But thank you so much for joining us on this discussion stream. It's such a joy to actually have you on as well. And
yeah, it was a pleasure meeting you guys. I've been on Twitter with you guys back and forth, and Leon over here was on my stream last night, but I never actually talked to you guys, and even though it's like not physical, but I haven't actually like seen your faces with my face at the same time. I guess I just haven't actually had a chance to talk to you guys aside from through words back and forth. So it's a pleasure. I love your guys' content. I love what you guys are doing, and thank you for supporting me too. So
likewise. We love your content as well, guys. If you haven't already, do be sure to head to the description box below. You can find all of Orange's information, her YouTube, her Twitter, her Twitch as well, plus her other socials as well. Give her all a follow and show her some love as well. So because if you're really looking for positivity in the Vanguard scene, especially competitive scene, look her up. Because as far as I've seen, right, she's one of the most positive people that I know as well. And if you're looking for a good time in Vanguard, she's definitely one of the persons you can look up to as well. So.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoy the content if you follow, and of course, follow Crossbones because they do a lot of stuff. They're really awesome.
Yes. And and we hope to have you on here on the discussion one day as well. Maybe at the end of the year, maybe because I am thinking of having this me and Leon, I think of having this end of the year discussion stream, a big old discussion stream with all the Vanguard YouTubers. We all just kind of like reminisce about all Vanguard. So, and I would love to have you there. So, alongside many other names.
I would be down. Yeah. I know there's probably Cardfight Con going on, I think probably towards the end of the year, but yeah, I totally would love to be on again with you guys. It's the end of the year, gotta go with the bang, 2021.
Yeah, maybe not the end of the year, maybe even sometime sooner as well, maybe with other Vanguard YouTubers as well, so we can kind of like, everybody all just start to mingle and just know each other, so.
Yeah, hopefully I'll be able to find more time that's not like 20 minutes before my work starts. So hopefully we'll be able to find like a better time frame for both you and like both sides.
Yeah,
so,
yeah,
that'd be
we'll,
awesome.
Yeah, we'll make sure we find a time that's as comfortable for everybody as possible. So yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you so much,
Alright, well,
Orange, for
thank
joining us,
you.
and we'll see you. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Good luck at work.
Yep,
Thank
good luck at
you.
work.
Thank you. Alrighty. And
So it's back-
so it's back
So
to
it's
you.
back
James.
to us, dude. Okay. So what would we have here?
Yeah. So we've gone through most of the news already. Hang on, I'm trying to find the windows to close right now and the windows that I'm on. So yeah, there we go. So yeah. So hey, she's in the chat. Thank you for having me. It's lovely to have you on, Orange. Thank you so much. We hope to have you on again soon. Sooner rather than later would be best. So
Let's hope we get to have a match on either Twitch or on the
on
YouTube.
YouTube as well. Yeah, we definitely will want to do something on your side as well. So do hit us up. If you have any ideas, hit us up. Then we will do something as well. And yeah, this is part of our endeavors to actually do some cross-channel promotion as well, collaborations. So yeah, you can expect to see either myself, maybe Leon, maybe both of us over on her YouTube channel, or even on the Twitch as well. So just give her a follow and all that, all of our socials, and just keep up to date with all of us so that you can see when stuff is happening. Funny enough, we just finished talking about Zero Dragons, and then the Zero Dragon music kicks in.
A bit late,
Very late though. First time it's late. It's been on time for a lot of things actually. So, but yeah. Anyways, yeah. So that's pretty much most of the news that we covered as well. Actually, since we missed out on you because you came in a bit later, we did talk about the blaster stuff also. So, do you want me to go through the skills to you again so that you can gather your thoughts?
No. I know exactly what they do.
Okay. So, what do you think thus far for the right line here for Phantom Blaster Dragon?
Phantom Blaster Dragon, as I mentioned much earlier during our when I came in so long, is that these are things that I see they are very good utility skills. They help to push in some power to make sure you can corner your opponent as soon as possible, and they are not anything particularly broken for premium either. So I actually really like these cards. They are not anything too out of this world. And I like the fact that Blaster Dart requires you to call. So that means you have to plan a turn earlier if you want to do the thing. So can you just slightly shift it? Can you just slightly shift the bar a bit upwards? I just want to see Blaster Dart. I just want to reassure something.
Phantom Blaster Dart.
No, Blaster Dart.
Yeah, right there. Below is Phantom Blaster Dragon.
I know. Just need to be sure.
Yeah.
So it's a when on place ability. So that means, right, if you want to do the retiring, you have to be sure on your turn 1, you have to call something out so that you can prepare to retire. But so in that regards, right, if your opponent chooses not to call anything, then you just don't use the skill. And because you cannot use the skill, you cannot get the drive unless you force to kill your 1 unit. So it makes you do the 2-step. You're discarding for the right line and then you're calling 1 out just to kill off to get the +1 drive. So it balances itself out and it's perfect. It's not like the Blaster Dart that we currently have for V, where he just shows up and you're not calling, discard 1 twin drive. Whoa.
Whoa, indeed. So.
And sometimes because of the way that moderate Phantom works, you can recycle the other Blaster Dart you throw away, and then you just, if I recall, you actually can send it back to the deck, I think.
Yep.
From drop zone.
Correct,
So then it becomes super annoying because these things are like abusive as heck. Sorry, my dog wants to come out.
Go.
Yeah. But it gets really abusive very quickly, and it's not comfortable fighting sometimes. Like Blaster Blade, on the other hand, it requires you to have a commitment to get his crit. So it's not free. And if you can get the guy there and then that's great. That's perfect. But however, unlike Blaster, on the other hand, he just shows up and he's just like, oh.
Yeah. I like the fact. Do you know that there were people that were actually confused about Blaster Dart with the +1 drive because they think that he can actually drive check on the Regard Circle?
No.
No.
No, he cannot.
Yeah, he cannot do that as well.
Yeah, because it doesn't say this unit gets the drive check. It just say +1 drive. It doesn't say this unit can drive check.
Correct.
It does not.
Correct.
It's different meaning. It's a very different meaning.
Yeah, especially because a skill like that, right, is to indicate that this card will have benefits if you check Amatinoa, which is the over trigger for Captain Sanctuary. So yeah, the incentive is that, right, you have it on the field, Phantom Blaster Dragon attacks, you check the over trigger, you can drive check with Blaster Dark, and he will have the +1 drive. So it will be a twin drive for him in that regard. So yeah, I mean it's quite important, not just for the ride up also, but also for regard when you can get the ability from the over trigger in order to do that also.
You know, there is something that catches my curiosity. Even though you say this unit gets +1 drive, right?
Yep.
But because the over trigger only allows you to drive check like afterwards.
Yeah.
So does this still get a +1 drive?
Okay, so no, it gets a +1 drive, right, at the moment when you count +1, retire one of your regards, retire one of your bonus regards. Right. Yeah.
Alright, so if let's say you already call out, you counterblast, you pay your cost, you destroy, and then he gets a +1 drive, but he cannot drive check. Then until you check, then during your attack step, during your battle, you attack and then you get the over trigger. Then now he gets the drive. Now he gets to drive check. Yes.
Yep.
But does he get the +1?
Yeah, he gets +1 because this unit gets +1 drive until the end of the turn. So as long as you paid the cost and you got the +1 drive until the end of the turn, right? If you check Amatinoa and then you give the additional skill, you can attack with it and he can twin drive.
Yeah, because the ability is like enough. You know what I'm saying, right? It's like these steps that you have to go through, just the layers.
Yeah, the layers of rulings and such. Yeah.
Right. So does the chicken or the egg comes first? You know.
Correct.
is that thing all over again? So it's like, do I like if I cannot drive check, then if I +1 drive, doesn't it equal means I cannot drive check? But I know I get +1 drive.
Yeah.
I don't drive check. So
Martin says Blaster Dark can drive check. We're not Gunstop V here. It's not Gunstop V. He cannot drive check on his own in regard circle. You need an over trigger to get that.
Yeah, so it's quite balanced out, and not even the moderate on any of that gives it the drive check. Even those things gives it a lot of power, but it doesn't give it drive check.
Yeah. So
and you make him like a 25 or something, or more than that, 35 very easily.
Yeah.
But that's about it really.
Correct. So yeah. Yeah, I said it before, so I find that for Phantom Blaster Dragon and Dragon Overlord, right, it's such a good, interesting take on the classic skills and being brought into Overdress, and them also not being to the point whereby they are immediately the replacements for the V series versions of them. Well, except for Dragon Overlord also, but the point remains that. But even in that case also, like you probably want to consider the original Dragon Overlord V than you would the the Overdress one, because they both offer two different things, and so depending on the strategy of your deck, right, one might be more favorable than the other.
As a matter of fact, I just ordered something today, just for this guy.
For Dragon Overlord or for Phantom Blaster Dragon?
For Dragon Overlord.
Ah.
So yeah, I just ordered something specially for him.
Oh. Well, I'm not looking forward to it.
It's a kind of old process for sure, but yes.
Yeah, and yeah, next week we're actually getting 4 new cards actually for Nirvana, because we haven't seen that much for Nirvana. So 4 new cards for Nirvana, which includes Virina Elgar. And also information on DBD03, which we will probably see the key graphic and we'll see what we can expect from that set also. There'll probably be Yu again and another Virina, right? Will it be another Virina? That's the question.
No. I'm pretty sure it would definitely be another Virina, but it's more likely to be Valiante than whatnot.
Yeah, so and
hey, no. You were more likely to get Sarah Snow.
Yeah, hopefully it's another unit and it's another character in the front. I know that Yu is the poster boy, but like, switch it up. I was actually kind of expecting DBT02 to actually have Danji, and then subsequently they have the other characters in there. So Toya will be the third one, then Megumi and Tomari or whoever lah. So at the point in time.
Yeah, exactly. So it's more likely to be them than Yu again.
Yeah, so
they can't
keep using Yu. They're already using Yu a third time for Lyrical Monastery already. And I don't think he even plays the deck even. It's just for marketing purposes. But are we getting another Virina? Yeah, Virina Elgar is the other Virina. But I don't know about beyond beyond DBT03. So DBT03 onwards, we don't know. We don't yet. So then Yu going to use lyrical soon. Nobody has ever said anything about Yu using lyrical monasterio.
He's just promoting it. So
yeah, female Yu is there, right, to just promote lyrical monasterio, because the marketing for Vanguard Overdress has always been male Yu and female Yu. Not Danji, not Tomari, not Megumi, not any of that characters. It's mainly just Yu in both his forms. So yeah. Will it be another Virina? Of course it's gonna be another Virina. Yeah, probably so. Alejandro.
What are we kidding, right?
Yeah,
what are we kidding?
Yeah. Hello, I think your new name here, Alejandro. Welcome to the stream. So I wish the anime would show more card fights and scenes. It's focused on random things. While it may seem more focused on random things, right, Alejandro, the key important thing, right, is it's about character development, and I can agree with you on certain things. Episode 5 was completely filler. Episode 6 was kind of filler as well. But the reason why they took focus away from the card fights and more into the character development is so that this becomes more of a mainstream anime, and then we can get more eyes on the product itself. I'd rather have a lot more people look at Overdress, see how it looks, and then get into the game that way, rather than them being a card game anime. Then people feel very isolated because it's just not their genre. And I think what they've done with marketing thus far for Overdress, including reaching out to people who have a big player base but they are not Vanguard players themselves, like Justin Wong, like Team APS, like many others as well that has promoted Vanguard Overdress. I think that method of marketing, right, is much more efficient to get new players in, and therefore they can take the edge off of the anime actually helping to promote the thing. So yeah,
because the problem about card game anime is that it usually deters the general audiences away from it because of how, if you don't play the game, you don't know what's going on.
Correct.
And when that happens, right, they don't get player base. And Vanguard has been known to be very focused on, it's very powered on its marketing skills.
Correct.
Like Vanguard got popular not because at the start was not because of the game itself. It's because the way that it's generally marketed to everybody. Like it's on buses, it's on trains. That has never before seen, even in the in my entire life. I have not seen any promotional materials for a card game this
high
all
level.
The way up.
Yeah,
this high level.
Yeah,
and that's why members of public and people started getting into it. But if let's say they were to go with the standard approach, like just start with a card game anime, right? Then we will have things like Battle Spirits. Because Battle Spirits at the time was focused towards just purely their anime. They don't have heavy publicity until much later. So there wasn't a lot of exposure to the public. So it was very difficult for them to market at the time. So now that Vanguard Overdress has kind of gone back to that, and because it's a more generic anime, I'm starting to see even my friends who don't play Vanguard are actually watching it because it's actually hilarious to watch some of the episodes. Episode 2 was already quite a riot as it is, and my friends loved it, and they just kind of like, and those who pick up the game. You know, if they're curious enough, they go do it. You know.
Yeah, absolutely as well. So Alejandro says that is true. I cannot deny the character development has been great. Good point as well. I think what most people need to recognize, right, about Vanguard Overdress is whether you agree or don't agree that they need to go back to focus on the card fights, you cannot deny the fact that the impact that they are doing with Vanguard Overdress is much more effective in getting new players into the game. So that's something that we all have to recognize that is the thing. So yeah,
and just to quickly point it out also, one of the biggest problem we had about when Vanguard was obviously it's a giant promotional for card games, obviously. The problem about the anime was that it's starting to get very, very stale. Because you know the outcome is gonna be get critical trigger or miraculous 6 damage heal trigger. And you know who's gonna get their ass handed.
Yep.
After the matchup is so obviously bad that it hurts.
Yep.
And then some really stupid ass pool as well. The first year of Vanguard up to the end of season 1, right? Things was all fair and good because IG was like a main character that keep losing his fight. And then he learns about it. That's why it makes him attractive. But then it goes on
outside
just not sucking up.
Correct. So outside of certain aspects of it, yeah, you know.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying.
Correct. Martin says, are we going to go Goku with different Virinas? So yeah, each Virina is basically a different Super Saiyan form. So Trickstar is the base form. Then that Virina is Kaioken times 10. Super Saiyan is Virina.
Valiante, yes.
Valiente, yes. Yeah. We can go on for that also. Brain says, by the way, one more card, they made one pack. So I'm not sure what that's referring to. Miri, I think is the start. Is the start deck its focus? Oh, the 6-art deck. Oh, you mean the 6-art deck? Yeah. There is not much information out besides like under not non-official information over there, which we don't really cover. So we usually wait for more information. We can really talk about it. So, but yeah. Yeah, so when did I come back to this video? This is tempting me. So because I put up apparently Cardfight Vanguard, right, actually put up a short little video of the full art for Nirvana with all of the units in SP.
I'll be honest, SP stops getting my interest after a while because I'll be honest, Vanguard Japanese card value is absolute crap. You will never see a $60 Zoga.
Yeah, you'll never hear about $60 Zoga in Japanese. So. But
yeah, it's kind of weird. I don't know how the market works. I really want to find out a bit more.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do some digging on that, so just to find out why that is the case. So Alejandro says, well, the Vanguard Overdress marketing definitely is working. So they got me to sell all my Yu-Gi-Oh cards and Pokemon cards and made 6 Vanguard competitive decks. Wow, I'm brand new to the community and love it so far. So I live down south in Florida and we get 20+ entries in tournaments. Oh yes, Producer Mori did mention how there were actually like competitive events for Vanguard in Florida. Hopefully you guys are staying safe in the pandemic, but yeah, it's good to hear that we have players like you actually jumping into Overdress and enjoying it thus far actually. So and you know, you came from other games as well, but you know, Vanguard is a fun game and our community has been very open. So we're a very open community. We welcome new players coming in because you know, we always want to make sure that everybody enjoys the game that we love also. And while we ourselves also play like Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon and Magic the Gathering and most of the other games as well, at this point in time, honestly, it's very hard for me at least to say that the most fun game that out of all that they played thus far right now is not Vanguard. Like Vanguard is currently right now one of the most fun games to play right now.
To me, I kind of it depends on mood actually for me, because to me, different games offer a different kind of challenge for my personal preferences. So I play whatever I feel like today, and I just see where it goes.
Yep.
Just like upkeeping every one of them is it's absolute pain. You need to be like earning thousands of dollars just to get that.
Correct.
TCG is a mess. TCG is a mess. Best to follow Japan market value to gauge how much a card are worth.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
You can't say the same. You go ahead.
It's hard to say because from my understanding is that English cards are usually more higher value because one is an international language that everybody uses. So no matter where you go, where you're from, you go to the tournament, the English tournament, you can play. But the Japanese one is almost exclusive to only take places like Hong Kong, Singapore, Malaysia, you know, Japan, because Japanese.
No, we're Asian. We're Asian. We have the mental capacity to process other languages. It's not a dig, please. So that's not a dig on other, please. That's just a bit right there. So I apologize. But, yeah.
It's just that English language is more highly it's more widely accepted across the board. So
correct.
I'm not that surprised that card prices are so drastic, and the meta obviously plays are different. I have noticed that most Western English card players prefer to play Zoga. Apparently, I noticed there's more Zoga players, Bruce players, Zoga players, not so much Keta, Dragon players. They kind of like you know, and then Sarasol is actually quite rarely heard. Then we have Orpheus apparently.
Yeah, especially yeah. Actually, to add on to the point about TCG play best to follow. The thing is, right, English cards, right, you really cannot use it interchangeably with the Japanese prices because they are more likely than not people refer to the English prices because the English prices is where one they probably want to make the most money out of. That's one thing. Two, it's apples to oranges when it comes to comparing market prices as well because the availability for cards in English does not necessarily equal to the amount of available cards as in Japanese. Both of them have their different amount of supply, give or take as well. Even in Overdress also, that's also the case still. So in terms of like pricing wise, right, you really cannot say just follow Japanese prices for English cards. There is a huge, there is still that huge gap that cannot be overcome. Yeah. So
Singapore, it's harder to find English version than Japanese because in
most
Singapore
people
we
play
have more.
yeah.
Yeah, most people actually plays Japanese because of card quality wise. So and we were taking a bet when Strikes when they released in English, the card back is exactly the same as as the normal Vanguard cards. I was like, what?
Leon, do you understand this?
People,
No, go ahead. I thought you finished.
And then by the way, what do you think of the rivalry of Masamori and Zaxa? Actually, that's kind of interesting. I mean, they're kind of like two ends of the spectrum, but it does confirm one thing for me though. Zaxa's relation with Tomari is a BDSM relation.
But I think it's only on Zakuza's end. I personally think it's just Zakuza's end. Tomari is Tomari is just feeding. Tomari is feeding. Tomari is feeding.
You can't tell me otherwise with how she enjoys it so much. No, I don't think that's just feeding anyone.
No, I think she's just feeding it. I think she's just feeding it. But I think it's mostly coming from Zakuza because Zakuza is the bottom here, obviously. Zakuza is the bottom here, obviously. But I kind of feel that Tomari is just kind of feeding into it because you know she's out there and she wants to have fun. And if it means playing along with this guy, and she clearly enjoys it, of course lah. So like, you know, like why not? Indeed, also. But yeah, for my opinion, in Masanori and Zakuza, I like the fact that these two side characters, so-called like the second in commands between Toya and Danji, them actually having a rivalry together actually kind of makes sense also. Yeah.
I think it's nicer to call it supporting characters and side characters.
No, I that's why I use the term second. I use the term seconds. Like they're second to Toya, they're second to Danji. Because I think there's a more apt way of identifying them.
The daytime gaming was like I was baited by card market price for Hexa Op Sorcerers and checked out with a huge hole on my bank account. Fun fact, Theodore. Hexagon Megas is only like $2 in Singapore.
In Singapore, yeah, it is.
It's only $2 in Singapore.
Unless it's in English, then yeah, like, maybe the price is a bit different. But yeah,
yes,
price wise for English it's yeah. So, Alejandro says that I have to get to work, but thank you. Take care, guys. I really enjoy your videos. Thank you so much for joining us on this stream as well. Thank you. Yeah. So, Iggy says that the cost of cracking booster boxes is different already. So yeah. Isn't the English one slightly more expensive, generally speaking?
I don't know about them, but yeah, I don't know what is it like over there. Yeah, but Singapore is actually a bit cheaper. Right?
Yeah, we are slowly like trying to touch upon the English market and trying to get an understanding of what the secondary market for English is here in Singapore and to a certain extent elsewhere as well. So our information when it comes to price differences or secondary market in English is not exact. So you gotta give us some time in order to fully understand like what's going on from there. So yeah, yeah, Leon, actually I wanted to ask you because Freedom put this up on Twitter.
Yeah.
Since we know that the cards essentially support for Tsukiyomi as well, then Freedom here is like it's the whole entire right line for Tsukiyomi and then caption plays opening song on Shaman King.
Because he looks like a shaman. Don't you not agree? The evolution of the soul, the oversoul and all these things, they just goes. That's just the fun. Great. Tsukiyomi just the final form lah.
I didn't get deep. I didn't get deep into Shaman King also. Yeah, I didn't get deep.
I'm not super deep into it, but I kind of like I have a slight bit knowledge because I still read the manga when I was younger, and I didn't really follow up with it. Not like most of them.
Okay,
so what else do we have? Singapore, our
yeah, it was like 2.5 euro, 2.5 euro each for the English version, which is like $2 kebabs. I was like, what's the worst thing that could happen? Shipping! Ege says, I usually see English costs like double compared to cracking JP. Yeah, I can see that actually being a thing also. But again, I'm not familiar with the price difference from there. So, Brain says...
Maybe it's because in Singapore, we get English cards on time because the printing company is actually in Singapore, so we can actually get our stuff on time, and then everybody else in the world waits for the export. So
Indeed.
that's why it's actually for us. It's like we get it much faster, and people just don't generally care so much. So and people who crack English is very very rare. I hardly see anyone playing English. Usually the ones that play English are more like little kids.
Mm.
Who get their parents to buy Vanguard cards for them, just take and mix and match everything up together. So yeah.
Indeed. So, Brain says that the card reveals are 6 cards, so one more is now 1 pack. So, that's what he meant. So, yeah, if you remember, Tsukimi. Yes, we're talking about Tsukimi so for a while. Luke says, I have an inkling of what Blaster Blade's right line is going to be. Either the first Vanguard will be Bargal or Stardust Trumpeter, then Lil Sage Maron, then Blaster Blade, then Alfred. The last 3, yes. I like to think that it's Stardust Trumpeter and not Bargal. Bargal makes the most sense, but I am like hoping against hope that it's Stardust Trumpeter. That way we can see somebody on Twitter, Daniel S, no grab C Nation, just sound off all the trumpets on Twitter. Just start sounding off all the trumpets on Twitter. There he is right now. So. But yeah. So I kind of hope that it's Stardust Trumpeter, because I think the Stardust Trumpeter has a better impact than Bargal. Bargal is to that right line, right? Bargal is to the right line as what Conro is to the Kagero right line. It's a secondary. It comes in after the original. So I'm hoping that they stick with the original if they do something like that. But then again, I honestly don't foresee Blaster Beat actually being a thing. Even next year. I don't see Blaster Beat there.
And Viviro says that seriously deciding to support OVRs but not reprinting them. Chances are they might reprint it.
Yeah.
Quite high. Chances quite high.
Yeah.
Just not in the same rarity that you hoped it to be.
Correct. So.
Or might see it to be.
He falls out to say, I said it before here, but not reprinting VRs will be a problem in the near future, like next year. So for now they mentioned that they are staying off of printing VRs until they can. Until after a certain point in time, they might revisit it. But I think if they do revisit it, they'll make it in a way whereby it's not gonna be very difficult for you to get VRs. So as long as it's Mori-san and his team, I think I'm okay with that. But I still rather they don't do VRs, just for the sake of just
we stayed away from it. Let's just keep it under the rubber.
Yeah.
If anything.
Yeah, so as long as we prove in the secondary market, right? As long as there's proof in the secondary market that VRs were actually not a good idea, I think that they may continue to persist with just doing with any extra rarities beyond beyond extra rarity cards like DSR. DSR is Trickstar and Nirvana, which you can get from the trial deck. You can just get easily from the trial deck. So they are collectibles, but they are not cards that are locked behind that rarity. So
cards like this should have never been something. It should not have been something that your deck requires to play.
Yep.
Because that's a very very big mistake.
Correct.
This kind of card should always has been optional. So yeah. Like one good example is like Battle Spirits. Battle Spirit has a problem where some of their collaboration sets, they're like the double X rare, okay, which is the highest rarity of the set, and you only get like 3 copies in the carton. These are things that are like staples for the collab deck, and then it's only specifically only for that set series. For example, like X8 or Kamen Rider Gain. So then whoever is sharing the carton will have to pay lesser of that, which is good. But at the same time, they are being kind of cop-blocked behind because they have a very powerful double X-ray on their side. Sometimes also the double X-ray flops lah, so not entirely. But the point is that when it becomes something that your deck requires, it becomes a problem for everybody, and it's limited prints, no less. So yeah.
Yeah. So Vero continues on saying that, and some first wave VRs are really hard to get necessarily, or those are reasonably expensive, like Himiko and Maelstrom. I'd say reprinting them, but of course not as VRs, but triple Rs in clan selection. Yeah, they should be reprinted as triple Rs at this current point in time, also. But we will see. But then again, they are also moving away from. I'm not saying moving away. They are giving you new triple R cards, new Ace Vanguards that you can actually run with, and they may not be they may not be what you're looking for, but at least you'll be able to have something that's current and also would continue to be relevant for at least 3 to 6 months. I'm thinking probably 6 months still.
Pretty much. So it will still be around for quite a while.
Yep.
That's for sure.
Correct.
So now, I think we already covered most of the topics, so we'll probably be ending off in another 10 minutes like
Yeah.
this. So if you guys got anything else, just feel free to chime in. Let us know what you think or what you feel. So yeah, don't be afraid to ask questions or anything you wish to inquire further about the sets that you're not clear. We will be more than happy to ask. In the meantime, Cap, download Fantasy Star Online 2 New Genesis, please. Thank you.
No space.
Yeah, it's 85 gig enough.
Yeah, no space. And I just removed Soto as well, just to make more space for our videos.
Yeah, I think it's time to clear the archive. Like, if there's things that's been there for way too long.
No. I cleared. No, I've cleared the biggest space has always been our videos, the raw videos is this, and I've cleared them all also. But I think it's compiled with some of the other things that I also add on as well, like like some of the extra shit that I do for the recap videos.
Yeah, perhaps.
Yeah,
So,
but what is this? I gotta have to compile all of my jokes from the recap videos and just make them into one file. That way I can just delete the original. So yeah.
Yeah, perhaps. Then you get space. Because you guys said, because you and Devs said, okay, sure, I'll just wait for the game cover and now no space. Bruh.
I also got no time also, dude, because I'm also playing so many other games on the side. I was supposed to play my PS3, my PS4, my Switch, more Monster Rise and Mass Effect as well, but I also got no time for those as well. And the only games I really touch upon is the ones on my mobile, Fallout Shelter Online, Dissidia, now Vanguard Zero as well. So my time is rather skewed.
I think you need to manage which one game you need to play.
I want to drop Vanguard Zero, but I can't. I can't anymore. So, and like Fallout Shelter is just one of those like I'm not progressing at all in Fallout Shelter, but it's just one of those games whereby it's so easy to collect resources and stack them up. Then when something hype comes up, you just pull. Can already.
Yeah, it's really that now. The game is just reduced on it. I think nothing really happens anymore.
Yeah, and I also forgot Genshin also. Like I haven't been able to catch up on like current content as well. Like I barely clear through like the events and such. But when it comes to like other things like story content and extra things to do as well, I have a hard time keeping up already. So
English version printing has changed to Malaysia. Really, I'm not too sure about that.
Yeah, not too sure about that. So.
From as far as I know, I think it's still in Singapore. At least the company producing it, so usually things doesn't get delayed. Vimiro is like, that's why I'm worried about OTT Boss in Clan's collection. I hope she can be used alone. If she only usable with Sakumi, then yikes.
No.
I
don't think that's the case. She's supposed to work standalone. She works. If you have Tsukiyomi in there, right, it works better. Like let me just scroll. I think it's lower down. Hang on, let me just scroll to it. Literally what it says here, right, is superior right, goddess of Tsukiyomi when you ride. The skill that the Tsukiyomi deck has been waiting for. This is the only thing that directly affects it. This one is support for Tsukiyomi deck. It supports it, but that doesn't mean that you have to have Tsukiyomi in there. And and the ace over here, right, doesn't seem to have any sort of interactions with Tsukiyomi. In fact, I can dare say this. The ace could have the name. This unit's name is also Tsukiyomi.
There's that.
Like don't fret too much, because while this one says that these cards are new supports for Tsukiyomi deck, that doesn't mean that you have to go get Tsukiyomi to use it. You have to get them if you want to play optimally, but if you can just get this set, you can play with just this set. Because I think they will probably have some things that involves the Ace Vanguard also having the name Goddess of the Full Moon Tsukiyomi. So yeah, don't worry too much. I honestly think that you shouldn't worry too much, because if you pick this up for OTT, right, I'm sure you'll be able to function on its own, because it doesn't make sense that they release something and then you have to play you specifically play older cards in order to make this thing even work. Like, that's bad marketing.
And that has happened before. That has happened before,
yes. So,
the Cross Crimson was a very good example. They will literally use those cards.
Yeah, correct. If you didn't have
if you didn't have those, and they were like what, a good 4 years distance, and there was no reprint except for the Fighters collection.
Yeah.
That was bad. That was really bad.
Correct. So, the pack itself states made in Malaysia. Maybe the pack is made in Malaysia, but yeah.
No. Usually it's together. They don't do like they print. You print the pack, I print the cards. No, that's all. It's together.
Yeah, it's fine. I remember read it somewhere where the printing changed from Singapore to Malaysia, but I forgot the reason. Usually it's money. Usually it's money.
Usually it's costing.
It's cost saving, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's usually cost saving. So, but at least the quality of the cards also didn't go down for English. Also, I remember when Vanguard first came out for English, the card quality was complete crap for English.
I was saturated. And it was very floppy. It was very weird.
You know how you know that the card quality for the English one is bad when the Korean version is even worse than the English one.
Yeah, the Korean one. Have you guys seen the Korean cards for Vanguard?
Have you guys felt the Korean cards in Vanguard? Because if you have, you know what we're talking about. But the card quality there is so bad, I feel like if I accidentally dropped it in water, it would disintegrate into dust like fucking Thanos.
Yeah, that Thanos on cards. Brain is like, yeah, why is that made in Malaysia but made in Singapore?
No.
Like it's a factory. It's a factory that's in Malaysia.
Correct.
That's usually okay. Usually when you see something that says made in China or made in somewhere, made in Vietnam, it's because that's where the factory that is producing the object. But the main company is like the main company is like probably a Singapore company or something, and they just but their factory is in Malaysia, so hence made in Malaysia. That sort of thing. Rin says that Chris says that the English one is better than Japanese in Overdress.
I think that's subjective.
I have not seen for myself. I have not seen it.
I think it's subjective also because I have seen both of them and I still think that the foiling for Japanese is better. It's subjective. I feel.
And I think you need to hold both the cards and really know.
Yeah. Yeah. Just need to get some water because got to stay hydrated. Yes, we all should stay hydrated.
Yeah. We've been talking for a while. I haven't even drank water.
It says yes. I own the original BT01 cards and the quality is fun fact, I kind of know how I got it, but I don't want to reveal details about that. But I actually got a hold of the samples for the Vanguard card prints, and it's completely blank, and that was for BT01. So you can actually see the foiling for what you see for Dragon, Overlord, Alfred and all that, right, in the blank card. I actually have that in the office. I actually have those samples in the office.
I remember we somehow got our hands on it. I don't know why.
Oh, I remember how. I don't want to say.
Oh, I think I know how I got it. I think I know how you got it.
Yeah.
I remember that.
I didn't even know that I took it with me also. I didn't even know that I took it with me even as well. But yeah, we have those card samples, and it's a small little piece of history that might be worth something. That might be worth something after 10 years, maybe even 20 years, but we'll see. I mean the Korean original BTO1 cards. Ah,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, I had it.
Yeah, I held on to... I think it was Dual X Arc Dragon, I can't remember. I think it was Dual X Arc Dragon. The card felt so... It doesn't feel structurally sound. Like, I feel like just staring at it would disintegrate it in my hands. That's how bad the Korean BTO1, the Korean cards were. So.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow, some valuable hidden cards hidden in the office as well. At least ones that we know of course. But naturally, so. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So I think there's not much else that we need to go. Yeah, so Hey, Different Friday is free this Friday, after Friday.
What do you mean by he's free?
He said that his schedule is booked all the way up to 11th of June.
So what's the plan then? Are we gonna let everybody know the plan?
I mean, it's not like they will go onto Twitter and say it out to everybody.
Maybe. Leaks. We are the what's the company that made Genshin Impact and
MiHoYo?
MiHoYo. I leak myself so nobody can leak me.
No, no, becomes the leaker. I hate leaks. Becomes the leaker. So, I can hear some faint static sounds. I think that might be from Leon's end, but yeah, it's gone now. So I did hear it before. Maybe even I tweet, people also won't know. So such is the case for Twitter right now. So Brain says, please me with what 2 cards will be supporting for Raging or hoping Tatao. I cannot think of any G1 since many great ones have been released like Dorin, Masquerade, and Swordbreaker. Wasn't there a searcher for Raging Form Dragon that's a great one?
I don't remember.
In terms of Raging support, so.
I don't remember.
I remember.
The only thing I remember very clearly is more recent times where Raging Form has been a complete pain in the ass to me on Zero.
Yeah.
So annoying. Raging Form, Phantom Blaster, Abyss combo. Holy shit.
I think, Brain, I think I found your grade 1 support. It's probably this. Because I remember this unit being Resist unit with your top 5, then choose one Raging Form Dragon among that, put it to hand and shuffle your deck. Because this is one of the more efficient ways to actually, ways to actually, what's that? To actually get cards, to actually get Raging Form Dragon into your hand. So it is a later set, but I don't see why this card cannot be reprinted and come to V. So.
Yeah, T-Time Gaming. How much are they willing to pay me not to tell anyone? I don't know, 1 carton of bulat. If you know what bulat is, it's an Indonesian dish, but it's not a very pleasant one.
We can send you the 43 cats that we open on the live stream from the BSC 38 carton. So
more cats.
Yeah, but yeah, it might be that. So I'm not sure about the dragon here, but I think this one might be a good contender. So yeah.
What was the
Yeah. We'll see.
We'll see.
Alright. I think that is that's exactly 2 hours right now actually. So yeah, I think we will call it here. I don't know why my clock suddenly stopped working. But it's already 2:30 already, so deal with the cats. Deal with the cats.
He doesn't want the bulat. He doesn't want the bulat. Yeah. Oh, Carlo Link just came. Hello, my jammers, and then we're
about to go off as well. So, because we've been on for about 2 hours, Kyle. So,
yeah,
so no worries.
Nice.
We appreciate you just the same for joining us, even though at the end of the stream right now. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us on this discussion stream. Thank you to OuterOrange for actually joining us today. I'm so happy to actually have her on. So it's nice to have her positivity actually be part of the show. Because
oh no, I just remembered. We didn't take a screenshot of when she was still here. You can posted it.
It's fine. We can probably take the VODs. So, in fact, I want to cut out. I actually want to cut out the part because before when I asked her about her experiences in BSF, right, then she started gushing about how good and positive experience has been, and then it's the piano theme, it's the emotions theme that's actually playing in the background. The piano is like so damn fitting. So I probably will download the VOD and I'll cut it out and I'll just post it for her so that she can hear. But yeah, Luke says, before I forget, I said this earlier, but I just got Megiddo in the post today. So now I have all 6 Zeroth Dragons and I also have Gize if you're wondering. So nice. I only have the 6 Zeroth Dragons. JJ has Gize, so I can get it by proxy. But yes, what was the line again?
What?
Joy is not the what's the Thanos line? The
balancing the fate of the universe is not it's not something I enjoy. But it does put a smile on my face.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. It's an old post that we put on our socials also, because I held the Thanos glove with the 6 Zeroth Dragons. Because at that point of time we finally got the Zeroth Dragons. So, but we still need to hunt.
Late. Yeah, really late though.
Yeah, very late. So, but it's fine. We still appreciate you dropping by. Still, thank you so much, Kaio.
Yep.
Yeah. So we still need. Actually, there's one strike that we need to secure. We haven't secured yet. It's the Dragon Empire Projector Dragon.
No, don't need find. That card is too good. Nobody's selling that. So.
Nobody's selling that, so yeah. And if somebody is selling it, it's like as expensive. So
Yeah.
but we should secure it for security's sake, of course. So
Yeah, I do need this to event it.
yeah, you do need it as well. We keep looking as well. But yeah, we will call it off over here. So once again, thank you to everybody that's joined us for this discussion stream. Thank you to all the new subscribers over here. And also like if you guys haven't done so yet, do be sure to check out OuterOrange in all of her socials, her YouTube, her Twitter, her Twitch. Just give her a follow on all of her socials right there and give her support. So she's super fun and it's super nice to actually have her on. At the same time, also do follow us on all of our socials. So all in the description box below, you can find us on our Facebook, on Twitter, Instagram, the Twitter that you can see over here. Yeah, and interact with us. So we do have stuff that's coming out in now. We have a recap video that's coming out tomorrow. We also have 160. So if you guys haven't seen what that thumbnail is, that thumbnail is Eugene versus Zorga, and it's a super fun fight. So do look forward to that. It's very, very, very epic. Yeah. So in terms of
9,000 sub. 9,000 sub.
yes,
9,000 sub.
subscribe to us, please, because we want to push to 9,000 and beyond 10,000 as well. We haven't talked about sub goals yet. We will at some point, but yeah, please do keep that subscription going on. So and yeah, just bring us up as high as possible. Tell your friends to tell their friends. Anybody that is interested in Vanguard, and especially in Vanguard Overdress now, we do what we do. Battle Spirits as well, yeah, and also Battle Spirits as well. If you guys are interested in Battle Spirits, or you have people that's interested in Battle Spirits, you can check us out because we've got 5 videos coming out on Friday actually. So yeah, we finally have a battle video coming out very, very soon. So it took us a while because we were training. We had to train people, but yeah, we finally have a battle video coming up for Battle Spirit. So do check them out. That's on Friday release as well. Over on Twitch as well, we also have a Twitch on CVGS. On Tuesday, you can find us for our Vanguard live streams over there. You can also find us there on Sundays for Vanguard Zero. We are thinking of setting up a proper schedule for Twitch. But I do intend to actually be on tomorrow on Thursday. I don't know what I'll be playing. I will let you guys know. It will most likely be my PS4 because it's been a while I play PS4. At the same time also, it will probably also be Overwatch as well because I have been itching to play Overwatch for a while. So maybe it'll be a good session of Overwatch just to play for the loss of it. So yeah. Stuff that has happened on Twitch over there, so be sure to give us a follow over there. Links on the description box below. If you want to support us, the join button for our membership here on YouTube is one place. The subscribe button over on our Twitch is also another place to do so as well. So if you want to support us and help us to improve our gear, improve our content, and you know, request videos as well, especially here on the YouTube channel as well. If you guys have specific videos you want to see us do, absolutely let us know. You can do so by joining us over there. So, Leon, is there anything else that you want to add on?
Oh, that is all.
That is all, huh? Alright, so with all that said, Isaiah says, Attack of the Bunny. So, Ray says, I wish I can tell people about CVGS. The problem is I have no Vanguard friends. So, that's okay. If there's anybody that's remotely interested in the Vanguard anime as well, like, just do so. Like, tell as much people as you can. Or whether online, in person, let people know that we're here. And we are here to see. So,
yep.
While we have this sappy music going in the background, thank you everybody so much for joining us, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye!